going to start because the mistakes start here, gentlemen. Okay. This is supposed to be his thumb, I'm assuming, right? Because these are his fingers.
Yeah, it's a separate entity. Yep.
It's a separate entity, and it's nowhere where like put your fist, right? Put your left hand like in a fist. Your thumb would not be there, right? Because your thumb is on the other side. Your thumb is on the inside, right? It'd be on the inside and the bottom, like over here.
Your thumb would fold over the fingers.
Yeah. Why is his thumb is like way, and his hand is not turned, right? So it's a very weird thing. It's like he drew
it's like he's trying to punch him sideways.
No, it's like he drew a right hand on his left hand, right?
Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Like he drew a right hand, and he's like, "Oh shit, wait a minute, that's his." No.
And in this universe, did the Thing eat the Human Torch?
And he looks nothing like the
That's
guy in
the
the
comic
trailer.
I want to read.
Now I gotta say, one thing that just get bothers me is that I know Joe Bennett's good because I loved his Immortal Hulk stuff.
That's what everyone's been saying on Twitter. Like, "Oh my god, his Immortal Hulk was so good. What's going on?" I don't know. I honestly, I never read it.
I think it's because of editors. I think the editors.
I don't think it is. You think editors saved Immortal Hulk, or you think editors?
I think editors kept them on track.
Yeah. No, your thumb can go over your fingers, right?
Yeah, exactly.
This is his left hand.
Fingers.
This is his left hand. So in order to get your thumb at the bottom, there's almost no.
Robert, you have to show them. You're the only one on camera.
It's awkward.
Yeah, there. See, that's not the punch. That's not how you do a punch.
But look, okay, Robert, put your hand forward towards the camera, right? Now see where his thumb is? That thumb would have to be all the way over to the other side because it's literally sticking out on the other side. It'd be like that. Yeah.
Oh.
Ow.
That's not how you do a punch.
Ow. That hurt. That hurt.
So that's just like on the cover, right? And I don't think it's editorial. I think it is obviously Chuck Dixon, unless Joe Bennett just like hey, go draw the fucking cover, right? Whatever you want, go wild. If there was no collaboration on what's going on or who to put on the cover or whatever, I don't know. It does. It almost looks like, again, if you look at the arm, if you just take the arm, right, and then flip it over, it almost looks like it was supposed to be a different arm, and they just kind of slapped it into this, right? Because you can almost see like a differentiation in color here between this light orange and this black. Like this part here is like one thing, and then this is another.
It goes to print in 3 minutes. Just slap it on there.
Slap it on.
Right. So this is our hero, right? Here's our hero. He looks kind of chunky. He looks like he's got a dad bod, a little fat in the face. I don't know what this is. Apparently, he's got no crotch.
Holy shit!
And Valdez has
I don't know what's wrong with his
chin.
leg. He's got like this weird tumor in this one leg here, or he's got like no calf. This one is fine, except for it's a little hard to see, but this is where I guess his leg kind of goes into like two legs. It's like a third leg. He almost has a third leg. Look at, because this is his thigh, right? Then you got this. Then you also got this in his shin. So I don't know. That's way too many muscles for me.
Is it possible that when these guys were working for Marvel, they had more pride in their work, and that's why
that could be a two. Working on Hulk probably gave him much more pride.
Like they reined him in.
Okay, look at his face. Okay,
her abdomen is way too long, by the way.
Yeah.
This is why if you're going to draw,
where are her organs? Where are her organs?
What's happening to Ingrid?
I got a picture for you because as soon as I saw
she has a Shokan body.
If you're going to draw realistic characters, you need to understand human anatomy.
Yeah, but as soon as I saw that picture of Ingrid, right, my brain went, I recognize that. Where did I see that before? And I go, I know where I saw that.
The origin.
She's got like a double chin going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the double chin.
They slapped his face on it.
And that face.
All right, so.
Oh.
But it gets worse because there's more on the cover. There's literally more. Yeah.
Chris Bacon, does she spit or swallow?
So I want you to look at her whips, right? Okay. So this whip here, this is where it starts. It goes this way, comes around, goes around this way, goes up here. Okay, it goes through her hand, right?
Yeah.
How did it come out the other side of her wrist? This is her hand. Your hand has a hole, right? And the hole is on the other end, right? So it should go this way and then come around, right? So it should be out here and then through there, but there's nothing here, so it never came out on the other end.
I have a question. Her whips. What's the power? Are they?
They don't say. It's never.
Well, basically,
Oh,
Wonder
wow,
Woman.
they
In other
never say
words,
anything.
Wonder Woman.
Okay. Now, this guy is solid. Okay, he has electricity powers. It's hard to tell if these are supposed to be electricity powers, but he has electricity powers.
Is he bagging that thing up on the other monster?
Yeah. He pretty much is. He's
taking over for the 99.
Look at this. This is his hand, guys.
Oh, wow.
What is this? Because he has solid hands. He's not made of electricity, right? He doesn't have like a missing hand. And he's got an electrical hand. No, that's this. I don't know what this is. Such a yellow thing that they colored in. You literally could have just got rid of this, left the building, and just say that his arm was there. You couldn't see his hand, right? Like that would have been almost a better thing than putting this, whatever this is. All right. Now, this is our man here, Braxwell, right?
Oh, here we go.
So, again, I'm not the most artistic, right? But if you look, this is where his leg is, right? His leg is in front of her leg. So this means she is fucking giant compared to Braxwell, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Now, if you take his other leg here, right? This is his fully extended leg, okay? But look at the distance between his legs. So if you bring this forward, and you extended this leg straight, his right leg would be about 4 inches shorter than his left leg.
Oh my god!
Because the way they drew it.
Every page is a rabbit hole.
Because you can see it goes up a little, then comes down, right? So if you extend that out, and then you straighten this back, this leg is actually drawn too short.
Yo, this comic is a wonderland.
So that's just the cover.
Oh, great.
Yo, we're in for a treat, gentlemen.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
So we got the Rippaverse. You're not seeing it, but we got the Rippaverse ethos or whatever, right? So then we get a Rippaverse Publishing Presents Alphacore page, right? And I'll bring it back up because there's another little. Maybe you guys could help me explain this, right?
I'll try.
Okay. So Braxwell is punching this way, right? He's punched this gentleman here.
What?
Whose face is turned this way.
What?
And then the front of his mask is where the shatter is, right? It's not on the side. You got a nice hole, and you can see that there's glass here. So
he only punched the middle of his face, apparently.
Where's all this glass?
He grazed him.
Where's the rest of the impact?
Yeah, well, but why is all this glass?
And he's turned it to the other side. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
wonderful.
She can't fly. This has been verified. So I don't know what she's doing. Did he just drop her? Right?
I have no idea. Again,
Brian just picked her up and threw her.
I don't know what all this junk is.
He's got boobs.
Yeah, he does.
He's got boobs.
I want to see what the script
with physics too.
So I can see what
it's got not just boobs, but look, it's got a fucking
like the boob physics, right?
Between them.
It's a trans superhero. It's woke.
It's woke. It's officially woke. But seriously,
I don't know what all this is here.
I want to see the script so I know what Chuck described, so I can see just what Joe was trying to match.
I'm guessing all the debris is the front of the gun, maybe.
I don't know, but this gun, if you notice, this is actually the laser rifles from Star Wars or something.
Oh my gosh, it is. It's
look like that.
It's the Stormtrooper rifle.
Yeah. Stormtrooper rifle. So
I think
and
Disney and
again,
Lucasfilm's gonna sue like a motherfucker.
that's just the
Yeah, it's the E11
yeah
blaster
right.
rifle.
So,
yeah.
the story starts off. That's not the first page of the story, right? That's just like a bonus splash page for some reason that's thrown in there.
Probably a prior cover that they dropped.
Probably, but the first page starts off with a splash page, right? So you want boom, we're gonna hit you off with impact. It is literally just a guy with a mask on, holding a gun to a lady's head. He's holding a gun to a lady's head. One guy, one single guy.
One guy.
This is what I was worried about, like civilians with no powers, and they just abuse them.
So
in other words, it's the authority. I just realized. If that's the case,
it's not the authority at all. Trust me. We're going to get into it. But so we start off with this guy holding a lady hostage. He's like, hey, back off. We're both going to go up, which is stupid. It's a stupid line of dialogue. Back off or we both go up. I was confused when I read this. I was like, go up where? Where are we going? Like, what?
Boom,
we both die. He didn't want to put the word die. I guess either Eric or some editorial said, hey, you can't use the words like kill or die.
Funny thing, by the way, we talk about editorial. Funny. Anyone knows how Canon White is basically now turning his back on CG once he's joined up with Rippa?
We've seen that, but
who didn't see that coming? Who didn't see that coming?
But again, like I said, I don't know if this is an editorial decision where they basically said, hey, Chuck, you can't put death or kill or
why?
I don't know, because again, have you ever heard anyone say we both go up in reference to or we'll both die or we'll both be killed?
Nope, never heard that.
Back off or we both go
unless
up.
You
I've never heard this expression.
In flames.
Not unless they say like we go up sky high. They usually add in a few other words to it to make it very clear. Like, can I say like we get blown sky high?
Back up, or we're both going to go to the Shadow Realm.
No. Back up, or I'll tender to the next dimension.
Yeah, so that's how it starts.
It is some of those Arnie quips.
Well, you know what? Wait, you know what? Why? Because here's why. Rippa doesn't want his kid to get upset if they ever somehow read this stuff.
He doesn't have a kid.
Rippa's not. God, please don't get it in his brain to reproduce.
He has dogs.
Yeah.
When they show burnt corpse, they do. That's the thing. That's the weirdest thing. They show blood and people dead.
Yeah, that's like
they don't use those words.
Corpse. That's strange.
Like seriously, like
it's like the Mortal Kombat versus DC.
Right? It's just so simple. Like I have never heard anything like this. Okay, so then we get a 2-page splash page, right? And again, wasted splash page because it's a splash page of damn near every single police officer, SWAT team, fucking helicopters, and they're all there for this one guy robbing a bank. So one guy robbing a bank,
a normal person with a gun. So
I'm assuming, right? You have to assume the guy went into the bank, held it up, got money, came out of the bank, saw that there was cops, grabbed the hostage, or had the hostage already as he went out the first time, right? So somehow the police, helicopters, SWAT teams, trucks, all kind of people got there before the guy got done getting his money to leave the bank. Like he's not even in the bank in a hostage situation. He's like already outside the bank. And I'm going to show you this picture because again, this is it is so fucking ridiculous.
He also doesn't have that much money.
He has one bag of money. Right? So
wow! Oh my god! Talk about overkill.
A small shopping bag full of money.
Okay, so now I don't know why they went with this. Like every fucking light source is streaking, right? I guess it's like some like camera. They wanted the camera effect. Like, look, the lights are fucking streaking, right? Okay, fine. That's their artistic choice, right? I think it looks awful, but that's their choice, right? However, you have to understand how these things work, right? So this is where the light source is, so it streaks off from the light source, right? Fairly simple. We can understand that.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? There's no light here.
What?
There's no light. over here, right?
Lasers.
Because this one is going down, right? So then we got this going down and this going down and then this going up and this going. So where are these lights coming from? So these 3 lights here got no source. This yellow light here again. No,
It's like
I don't know what the fuck this is.
they grabbed these lights and then just copy pasted them all over the place.
Yeah, because I think
Like
this
they
is
drew
like
the
one of
same
these.
element. Yep.
He accidentally clicked the button here.
He
didn't
found a
notice,
gimmick and just couldn't stop using it.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's that. Okay.
J.J. Abrams, true wizard.
Guys, I gotta get going. This thing's too much for me anyway, but I gotta go. Have you know that I've been yawning a lot like crazy? I am just tired. So see you guys.
See, all right, Robert, take it easy.
See ya.
This helicopter is flying way too fucking low, by the way. Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it's gonna hit the fucking pole.
Okay. Next, the helicopter has no rear.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have the rear fan, the rotor or whatever.
Yeah, the rear rotary blade. So the stabilizer. So it doesn't have that.
How's that man holding on?
He's just holding. He's just just chilling. Also, you can see that
Hang
these
in
are
there,
the blades,
baby.
right? See the blades? There's no sense of movement. They just seem to be floating. The helicopter is literally just floating in air because there's no like lines indicating that
It's
the
like
blades
those
are spinning.
choppers they have
It's
from
not
Dune.
even falling. It's just
Yeah,
it's frozen in
sitting there.
time.
Okay. So now this is your one-way sign, right? See this sign here in the back where it says one way going that way? You don't put a one-way sign on the back of the pole. If this pole is for people that are coming from this direction, there would be nothing written on the back of this, right? This should be on the other side of the pole. So it should be on the front of the pole, and we shouldn't see any pole. We should just see sign and then the other sign. So that's art mistake, art mistake, art mistake, art mistake, art
Yeah,
mistake.
even Bianca's getting dizzy. It's way too much going
This
on.
guy here is retarded because he's not even aiming at anybody. All these guys are in position. This guy's late to the party. We just wandered off.
He's about to go rogue.
Yeah. This guy got a shotgun. They got everything. All this shit: AKs, fucking laser rifles, shotguns, pistols,
Over one
helicopters.
guy.
Over one guy.
This guy was playing GTA and he got all the 5 stars.
Now, to be fair, this is in Texas.
Oh,
Here's what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
that's how Texas
They have a
works,
tank.
exactly.
Dude, they have a tank with 2 of them with fucking mounted machine guns on top of them.
A glimpse into Eric July's worldview. You sneak up into a warehouse and that's what you're supposed to expect.
Yeah.
Folks,
You
this is
figure it
why you
out.
should never vote libertarian.
So-
Unless the point of this scene is to show that Texas is over militarized, I don't get this.
Oh,
The
well,
police force
Eric's
is militarized after
a
the
branch
war.
of libertarian, that's for sure. Never vote that.
Yeah. By the way, police is government.
not in the Rippaverse. Whole splash page looks like some 3D garbage. So that's that page. So then we get the little, hey, drop the gun. We're all gonna die. I'm ready to go. And then suddenly the guy is sucked out of the panel. We don't know what happened. He says who, right? Who? Now, I don't know about you, but if I get grabbed and jolted into the air, who is not what I would say, right? I might yelp, I might scream. But let's go with who.
Yeah, get startled.
Who? Who is a question, right? Because it even has a question mark here. I'm about to show you. I speak a language called English. Okay. I have never in my 42 years of life ever seen who H-O-O. Who? Who? But it's a question mark, right? It's not a sound effect. If there was no bubble and there was no question mark, right? It was just like who, and you see like the guy's like I would get it like a sound effect, like he made a noise as he got pulled up, right? He's got yanked. But he's like, who? This is like he's confused, asking who's grabbing him, like who?
He's a
like,
shape
what?
shifting owl.
Yeah, he's an owl superhero.
Her face, by the way, the woman.
Yeah.
Classic.
So, who? Okay, so also remember the preview art where it showed Brian
Chris
was
Bacon
holding a
says
guy.
she's saying she's a hoe.
Is that what it is? Oh, made for the streets. Horton, here's a who. Possibly. All right, so then we get that image that was Brian holding the guy getting shot at, right? And remember, George said, "Well, no, those other bullets, those other bullets are from the helicopter, right? They're not. They're not from the helicopter. They're from the guy because the helicopter's not shooting him. There is a helicopter in the scene. We've seen that, but the bullets are literally hitting him, ricocheting, and he tells him to stop. He'll live, but it hurts, right? It hurts to get shot by bullets, even though they're bouncing off of him, right? And you can't go one page. This is what I love about the art from Joe Bennett. It's the gift that keeps on giving, right? Because you can't go one page in this story without asking yourself, how high was Joe Bennett when he drew this? This is the guy's foot. This is Brian's foot. See, his other foot looks nice. Looks like a boot. But what is this?
You don't know, man. Maybe he's got a club foot or something.
Yeah, Brian's got a club foot. It's ridiculous. We already discussed how the perspective on this is all weird because you got some buildings are one way angled, some buildings are straight, some buildings you can see the tops, which you shouldn't. If they're over here, you should see the side. So he grabs the guy. He asks him, "You know how to disarm the bomb?" He's like, "No." He goes, "Well, fuck it, I don't need you then." Just throws him into the pool. That's like on this hotel down there, right? And again, he throws him with no regard as to what's going on. You know, who's down there? Maybe there's someone in the pool. He might have landed on a dude in the pool, right? Or he might have missed the pool. Who knows? He just throws him. Throws the bomb. Bomb goes off. Boom. Guy falls in the pool. People are startled. Brian comes back. Okay. And you got to see the sequence because, again, I don't know art, right? But I know physics and I know science and I know solid things, right? So this is the guy here, right? He got dropped into the pool. Okay. He gets grabbed, right? So this is the guy. Okay. Now, unless this guy has fucking maxi pads for clothing and they absorbed all the fucking water, why is he not wet? He was literally seconds ago fully submerged in a pool. He should be dripping. There should be water dripping all down this guy. His hair, his arms. None of his clothing looks wet. There's no indication. There's no water on Brian from holding this guy.
Why is he doing a Death Valley driver on him? That's what I want to know.
There is so much wrong with this.
So
It's like he's about to do the F5.
also, I don't know what's all with the crinkle on his ass. He's got ass crinkles.
Oh my god. Is he about to kill him?
No,
a plot error, and here's the plot error, right? If they knew Brian was going in, they didn't need to bring all those tanks.
They
and
didn't.
those
Brian wasn't
helicopters
supposed to show up. They get yelled at.
Oh,
He gets yelled
okay.
at in a minute. Okay. So he's not wet. I don't know what happened to the water. Maybe they forgot. Maybe from panel to panel, like, hey, water. Oh shit, he was in water. I forgot from the last panel I drew that he was fully submerged in the water. Right. So the guy's confused. He says, the bomb went off. He's like, why did the bomb go off? It wasn't supposed to go off, right? So I guess we're supposed to assume that the guy didn't know it was a real bomb, or he didn't realize that it was an actual bomb. That he thought it was a play bomb or whatever, right?
Hey, you know what? It would have been a very simple way to show that the guy was wet. Well, there's obviously putting water droplets, but also making the clothes darker.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
He sped so fast he air dried. Check and trying mode on. Fucking Back to the Future. Michael says he landed on Jasmine in the pool. She's dead now.
That's the end of her plot now. That's the end of Jasmine.
Well, at least we finally
these...
fucking know what happened to her.
You can draw all those lens flares, but not enough time to draw wet clothing. Coloring can do wonders. Yeah, maybe it's a coloring error. Maybe the people who colored it didn't understand right how to draw wet clothing and just colored it. I don't know.
That's possible. We know he's not. We know he's not sending his best.
Yeah. So he comes. Brian's all like, "I'm the hero," and here it is. Boom, right? And he's like, "Hey, he's harmless. I got him. Got him, Chief." And the guy yells at him. And Brian's like, "What the fuck's the problem? You guys in custody. No one got hurt. We're all good." He goes, "Well, that guy don't got lasers coming out of his butt." Literally, this is literally the line. Okay. This guy have lasers coming out of his butt. Can you fly? Turn the stone? You know the rules for accepts. You come when we call you. You come when it's a freak call. So there's already accept prejudice in the world of Alphacore. Now remember, this is the chief of police, okay? Talking to Brian Solari, the most powerful accept in the universe of ISOM. The guy who helped Texas, the country that he lives in now, gain its independence from the United States by single-handedly winning the war. A war hero. It's like if Ulysses S. Grant was being talked down to by some local sheriff, right? After the fucking war.
It's like if George Washington.
Yeah. Some guy in one of the colonies just dressing down George Washington. Like, I don't give a fuck about you crossing no river. You don't come around until I tell you, bitch. It's like, whoa, Washington. It's like, take out my wooden teeth and whoop your ass.
Yeah, Washington's like, have you ever been bitten by a man with wooden teeth?
Yeah. Does this start like an ill-advised? No. I'm sure a lot is lost in translation. Maybe. Butt lasers? I forgot about that line. What the fuck, Chuck? Yeah. So again, I am convinced that your assessment that Chuck Dixon didn't read ISOM 1 or 2 is correct. Yeah. Because the way he writes Brian and the way he writes the world treating Brian is not the way that a war hero, a literal god among men, right? Like Superman. Imagine Superman getting yelled at by fucking Perry White, right? Not Clark Kent, but Superman getting yelled at by Perry White. Right? He's like, really? Like Perry White should be like, oh my God, thank you, Superman. We love you. The cops should love him, right? Again, this is a libertarian society, right? We know that because Gooding exists. Gooding is a private fire department, which could not exist in any other society but a libertarian society. Okay. These police officers work for the city. Okay. The city.
I wish I didn't see.
What's that?
Look at your page. Look at the bulletproof vest on the captain. What does it say?
Oh. Was it saying hold on? Let me scroll back. Is that check Brazilian? How do you say police in Brazil? Portuguese.
No.
How's police pronounced in Portuguese? Anybody know?
Let's Google it. Hold on.
Don't make me call the police.
Poli. They're the poli. Is this AI art? Did we figure it out? So this is the poli. The poli.
No, come on.
And you can see here
Poli.
The poli, and this is poli.
No police. Poli.
Poli. I don't know what this is.
There's no police in a libertarian society. It's just the poli.
Yeah, the poli.
Completely different. Totally different.
Totally different.
Up front.
The popoli. So the
in Portuguese it's policia, so no, it's not the translation error. It's just an error.
Error. God. Also, on the next page here, actually, let's go back to the Poli page because that's where this starts. Again,
Poli.
this is the Poli page. Poli. As you can see here, again, we have these mysterious fucking. I don't understand how light works in the. Is this an Alphacore universe? Is this how light works now? When you become a libertarian society, light just starts fucking acting weird.
Right.
And in the next page, look at light is going in front of him. This light goes in front and behind him, and there's just lights, just streaks. No sources of any of this. Just throw lines, guys. Just throw lines everywhere. Just light lines.
Yeah. This guy's out of control with just putting lines everywhere.
God, it's like a 5-year-old on a sugar rush made this.
So Brian takes exception. Freak call? He doesn't like that. I don't need this shit. He flies away. He goes, that's right. You fly away, bitch. I'll write you up. They're writing him up. So Brian, Alphacore, actually works for the police. They are like a SWAT division. Okay. They are a division within the police force. They're not a separate entity. They're not a private security force. They're not a private investigative force. They're not a fucking private military force. They are literally part of the police department.
Chris Bacon says, fuck the Poli.
that NWA song. Fuck
Another NWA song, exactly.
Quit using NWA without their permission.
Yo, in Eric's X Comics, somebody better say that. I want to see that now. I have to see that.
How to lens flare in Photoshop, yeah. Making Michael Bay look good. Lens flare to hide the shitty art. I like Joe's style. So this is it's worse than ISOM. In a lot of ways, it's worse because at least the 3D art was decent looking, and they just kind of kept inserting it into things. So it's like but it's the same image, right? So it was still like decent. But it's just weird shit all over the place. Right.
When the human beings look like Lovecraftian abominations, you know you messed up.
So one of the things I noticed in this book is odd missing narration, right? Like, so they jump from Brian flying away to now suddenly they're in an office building. That was that other scene where it was like the guys looking at their phone and shit, right? But there isn't like a narration box where it's like across town, right? Or in his secret laboratory location, right? Or like in the offices of. It's just like we're at another location. Like I don't know where this place is, who these people are, and we're just suddenly thrust to them, right? And this is one of those things. Like if you don't read comics, you wouldn't notice it, right? Because you're just like, okay, I'm not a comic reader. This must be how it's done, but it's not. Usually they'll say like in the Hall of Doom, and then you see the guys, it should be like in the fucking lair of Michael, the coffee drinking asshole, right? Like, oh, okay, that's Michael's house, right? Like we know where we're at now, what location. Hell, it could have just been across the street from the bank, right? Like, oh, okay, they're across the street from the fucking bank in a building, right? So these two people are plotting, and apparently it is this Michael guy's. He was the guy with the weird eyes in the ISOM thing. He wanted to blow up the bank to hide money that was in a safe deposit box. Okay, safe deposit box he had access to, mind you. He was he wasn't under any investigation at this point. Nobody is suspecting him in any sort of criminal activity. He simply could have went to the bank or sent someone to the bank to retrieve the contents of his safety deposit box. But no, instead he decides, you know what? I'll just blow the bank up. And that must be able to blow up the entire, safety deposit box. Obviously, it's going. He's got this planned in such a way that the guy's going to go into the bank, blow up, but be close enough to the safety deposit boxes to blow up not only the boxes but all the contents inside the boxes, right? Except for the guy got out of the bank, which means he didn't have it timered or he didn't have it wired. When it blew up, there was no like ticking clock on it, so I don't even understand like why it blew up. When he threw it, he took it off him and threw it through the vest, and it blew up. What up, George?
Greetings.
We're just talking about the Poli and.
Yeah, my sketchbook says so. My theory is that the writers and artists are just taking Eric's money and then producing anything that passes as comic art. Secretly, they're just laughing at all the customers and Eric. Yo, it can't be a theory if it's confirmed.
They're phoning it in.
Phoning it in.
So you think Chuck Dixon was just like, I don't have time to read ISOM 1 and 2. Just give me the big picture stuff.
Yeah.
And then I'll do nothing with that.
Or it could have been Eric, where like he just like, oh, that's not important to tell him that Brian is a war hero. That is not important. I just give him the once over, right? Like I guess he didn't even read the fucking Dokemon cards. Chuck's like, don't worry, I don't need to read the cards. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm of the theory Eric July hasn't read his own book.
That's a terrifying prospect, which could actually be true.
That's very sad. When he,
I don't know how that's possible, but it's just a
he
theory.
paid so much for his copy.
No, it could be possible, but all right. So moving on with the story. So Michael is now surprised because Lillian, again, no one has a cool name. Lillian, the other lady, the wizard lady, she's like,
oh wow.
Turns out, the guy, the explosion didn't blow up the building, the bank. So now we're fucked because they're gonna investigate the robbery, and they again, I don't know how, if Chuck doesn't understand how police work, right? Or Eric or somebody, right? But if a guy goes to rob a bank and he gets a sack full of money, right? They're not going to investigate the safety deposit boxes, right? If a guy doesn't go into the bank and empty a safety deposit box or go into the safety deposit box room, the police have no reason to check any of the safety deposit boxes or wonder why it would just like, hey, why are you robbing the bank? I want money. Okay, there's just some crazy guy who wanted money, right? Like there's nothing more to it that the guy's like, oh shit, they're gonna figure out that I'm behind this.
Audit the bank.
Yeah, no, they'll audit the money, but they're like, did any of the deposit boxes get opened? No. Right? Okay. Are all the contents there? Yeah. They'll have people come in. They'll call, hey, could you come in, check your box? You go back there, you check your box, and like, okay, yeah, it's in there. Yeah. Right? They can't ask you what's in it because that's what a safe deposit box is for, right?
Not necessarily. The FBI did a raid on safety deposit boxes in California.
Yeah, but that's a raid. I'm talking about if they're just doing like a fucking.
Yeah, and they took everything.
There's a difference between a raid and, hey, we want to make sure that nothing was stolen from you. Did you have anything? We're investigating to find out that if a crime was committed towards you, and we're not going to raid your fucking deposit box. How would they know? They open the box and go, look, there's money in there. Yeah, well, it's the safety deposit box. I guess we'll just take it.
George, I thought you were Canadian. You're Californian?
What's that?
You're California? I thought you were Canadian.
Yeah, I'm Canadian.
Oh, okay.
We start off with CA, in both cases.
Eric pays as soon as he approves the work. Now I love Eric July. Yeah. So now they're shitting bricks because they're like, oh shit, they're gonna find out what we did and they're gonna connect it to us and you fucked up. I'm gonna take care of it. He's like, no, I'll take care of it. Don't worry. So they're arguing back and forth. Now they both got a plan. They're gonna take care of it. Alphacore's base is shown. Brian has flew up to Alphacore's base. It looks completely different than it did in the trailer. Okay.
Yeah.
And all the other art, this looks more mechanical. It doesn't look like. I'll show. I just showed.
Does it look like it was done in SketchUp?
I don't know. It's hard to tell. But this is because Joe Bennett's doing the art this time, not Cliff Richards. So this
looks nothing like the trailer. Wonderful.
Wait a minute. Is this somewhere in the swamp?
No, this is not the Hall of Doom or whatever the hell it was called.
It looks
like
it's the swamp.
No, this is the sky. They're in the sky.
Well, the sky looks like a swamp.
The perspective is weird because you have buildings going up this way, but then you have things going the other way, and then this is straight, but he's flying. I don't know. So anyway,
you know what this looks like? It looks like in Power Rangers how they used to have like animal droids. This looks like the turtle one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Here's what I want to ask you. These are clouds, right? These are clouds. Okay. But what is this?
They are. It looks like a Banna gas giant.
Yeah, but what is this?
Oh, that's other aircraft. I think. Yeah.
No,
That's what.
I have no idea.
Those are gas collectors.
So yeah, so there's just like weird things in the art. I don't like the way the clouds look. They're supposed to be clouds. I can understand that, but they have this weird
They
like
look like corals.
It looks like a completely different art style from the rest of the comic.
because they had 4 inkers, right? 4 inkers and 2 colorists.
What?
So, yeah, 4 inkers and 2 colorists on the book.
Are you okay? You're shitting me.
No, I wish I was.
The ship
Holy.
looks like tortoise interference.
Here, I'll go back up to the page and show you the list of. There's a shit ton of people. That's why I said like this book must have been expensive.
So are you telling me you can noticeably tell the difference between the pages because of the inker?
I don't know if it's because of the inker, but I'm just telling you there's Joe Bennett, see Chuck Dixon writer, Joe Bennett penciler, Thiago Dal Bello, Emmanuel Braga, two Thiagos. Man, that's a coincidence. Yeah. Thiago just gave him 2 names. He's like, yeah, I'm also Gomez. Fuck it. Him twice.
That's his wife.
Yeah. Marcio. Actually, I was wrong. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 inkers. Marcio Lorenzo and Yonami.
Yonami wasn't even important enough to have a last name.
All right.
I like using the Yonami code growing up.
Yeah.
Then we got Michael Bartolo and Thiago. Thiago pulling double duty. Actually,
Okay. All right. So
it's a third. There's 3 Thiagos because there's a Thiago Dal Bello, a Thiago Gomez, and a Thiago Dal Ballo.
Is it possible
With
that?
an A.
Oh, is it possible that was a mistake?
I don't know. It could be possible that this guy has 3 green cards and he gave them all away.
Hero, let's be honest here. This whole thing
Lots
is
of Brazilian names here.
ID? Here's 3 of them. Pay me whatever.
Yeah, pick a card. Any green card.
I hope that this is the same guy and it's just a bellow. I don't.
Yeah. Which one works for you? Let's go with it.
Just barely tried to disguise it.
Yeah. He put a mustache on, like one of those fake mustaches. I am Ballo. Thiago? Yes, Thiago Ballo, not Bello. Bello is my cousin.
Got taken in by a low effort grifter.
So then Eric Weathers did the lettering. Alan Ford did the copy editing. Carol Brown and Andrew Rodriguez are assistant editors. And then Eric July is the editor-in-chief.
Gross.
Also, this is really small. Like, I don't know why I put it really small. Based on characters created by Eric July and Marcos Rios. Marcos Rios is a name I've never heard mentioned anywhere.
Oh, I know who that is. I know who that is. Marcos Rios is the guy that hands out the Kool-Aid amongst Eric's cult.
What I'm saying is, I was under the impression that everything was made by Eric. This is all Eric's creation, right? Like, to then some of the characters are this. I don't know who this Marcos guy is.
I'll tell you who that Marcos guy is. That guy's a chink in the armor. Meaning
whoa! He doesn't look Chinese.
Meaning that Eric
Tony is bound and determined to go to hell.
Doesn't look like Eric July has 100% ownership of his content.
Yeah,
going fast and
the biggest fear I've had might actually be true.
Marcos,
someone look up.
The ministry would like to speak with you.
I'm gonna Google
Jesus
Marcos
would like to have a conversation with you, sir.
Rippaverse. It's the secret.
Marco Rios is Glenn Beck.
Yeah, it's Glenn Beck's Latino name. No, there's a guy there. He's the concept artist illustrator. So what it sounds like is Eric came up with the ideas of the characters, and then this is his Jack Kirby. Like, Eric is the Stanley. Like, hey, make a superhero team with 3 guys. One's a lady. One's got a helmet. One's kind of like Superman. Marcos did all the actual.
Yeah, he quickly ran to the Injustice League, or the what do you call it? The Superman bad guys.
General Zod.
Yeah. What do you call those guys?
General Zod?
The League of Incredible Kryptonians? Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, okay, yeah, sure.
I just call him Zod's posse.
The gang of Zod.
Boys. The Zod Squad.
Yeah.
The Zod Squad? No.
Zod Squad.
Yo, DC, you need to trademark that, make it canon.
All right. So anyway, we carrying on with the story. We got Brian goes into the Flying Fortress. Now in the Flying Fortress, remember Alphacore shows up in ISOM 1 and 2, and it's the three of them, right? It's the three of them. They go there, and there's like a whole support staff. There's like 30 people in this fortress.
Wow. Any of them do manicure?
I don't know, but there's like airplanes, and there's like fucking guys in pilot uniforms, and there's all kind of like people.
Is there a masseuse in there at all?
Possibly. Yeah. So apparently, they also have an alpha signal because the guy is now. Remember, Brian was supposed to be the leader of Alphacore. He's getting dressed down by this other guy who's a normal person who seems to be the actual guy in charge, right? He's like, "Hey, there was no Alphacore signal." He's like, "Well, circumstances." Right? He's like, "Well, we're just winging it." Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's go with that. Just winging it. And basically, the guy's like, "Hey, you understand that there's optics, right? We gotta do things a certain way." Also, in this issue, they decide to suddenly remember Alphacore has existed. Okay, this is why this doesn't make any sense to me. Alphacore has existed in this universe for a while. They have a whole department. They have a whole support staff. But at this moment, the guy goes, we should really think of changing the name of AirPod 1 to the pod, or maybe we call it the Airy. He's like, the what? What does that mean? He goes, it means Eagle's Nest. Yeah, we'll call it that. It's the Eagle's Nest. So the super spaceship that they live on is called the Eagle's Nest now. They just decided to change it after countless months of working in this place, countless months of existing. They've now decided that it should have a fancy name. And the name has nothing to do with any of the characters.
Wait a minute. That means they're going to have to change their business cards in the stationery.
Wait, they don't have pet eagles?
They don't have pet eagles. They're not like eagle-themed superheroes, right? Like the Watchtower, it watches over the world, right?
They don't have like.
It isn't called like the fucking the jellyfish, or like the jellyfish. Yeah, we live in the jellyfish. It watches over the world. Like, no, stupid. Like, that makes no sense. Right? So they live in the Eagles Nest. Okay, that's the new name. So this is when Ingrid is all girl bossing it up. He's like, Brian, you're bad. Why did you do that? And he's like, well, I'm a good guy. I got to do the good guy things. And they're watching TV, and Dick Masterson's on the TV. And he's complaining about superheroes. No, it's just some dude. He's just complaining about superheroes. And Brian's like, "Who's that guy?"
Why are you
That's Jonah Jameson?
Is it sad that I almost believed that for a second?
Yeah, you had me going there. I was going like, "Oh, wow, this is a great book."
So that Jonah
the universe's version of but he's like a lawyer. He's not like so he's a lawyer complaining about superheroes and how there's guidelines, and they're employed by the city. So again, we're in a libertarian society, but the city still employs the police department, and I guess there's paid without taxes, because you need taxes to pay the police department, but the city's paying it, but there's no taxes because it's libertarian. So
hold on a second. Does this superhero group have a code of conduct?
Not that they've established.
What kind of? So this is supposed to be a libertarian city, but he doesn't know how to.
No, it's a libertarian country.
Country? Oh yeah, because Texas is a country now, right? So yeah.
So
okay.
it is a country.
So he doesn't know the right to write anything. Government wise.
Well, I don't think he knows. I don't think Chuck Dixon was told. Seceded, and I don't think he read ISOM 1 or 2 to know that information.
No.
So, no what? You said no.
I just said no. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you, Chuck Dixon. He doesn't know. Didn't know.
So, this guy's complaining. He's like, blah, blah, blah. Superheroes can do whatever they want, and the people don't feel safe, and they don't know if like a super criminal might bust down their door at some point. And so they yell at Brian. They're like, Brian, you're a fucking retard for, trying to save people. How dare you try to save people, you retard? You should only save people when the city calls you to save people because they're scared of you because you're fucking super retarded. And Brian's like, but
It's
I
like a
good
plot
guy.
suit would come up with.
But I'm good guy.
Yeah.
It sounds like
then
Bizarro.
they get into a fight. So Brian and Ingrid being the junior member, remember this now. Ingrid, junior member, was asked to join the group on Braxwell's recommendation. She's now fighting with Brian and saying, "You're an idiot. I'm cool. You're dumb." And he's like, "But what about the car wash?" Well, that was a favor. She's like, "I went to the car wash grand opening for friends." He's like, "Yeah, but you were signing autographs and you had 8x10s." And she's like, "Well, you're wearing a fucking cape." And
The hell
like,
is this high school
Oh,
heroes?
yes. But also, Brian has a magic lock of hair. Okay. And you think I'm joking?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I was hoping you would be joking.
It is magical. It is the most magical locks of hair. Because you know how Superman has.
Wait a minute. You said one of these characters is a junior member.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
just like that, just like that, with the emphasis on the junior part.
Oh
God.
No,
Brian's ever-changing face.
Oh,
He looks Asian here. No.
wow.
Yeah. So you see this here. This is like trademark, but sometimes it's over here on this side of his face, and sometimes it's gone completely, and then it just comes back.
You said magical lock of hair. I was picturing
It's
Rapunzel.
more like a magical face. He looks like Simu Liu all of a sudden.
He got fat, then he gets skinny, then he gets retarded looking with his like. He looks like Mo Howard.
But
Mo Howard
does he have a magical face? That hair?
That's what I'm saying.
Even her. Look at her. Yeah, not too bad. Kind of skinny. Then now she's like rounded and fat, and now she's just weird.
Oh, this is a single.
Now
pass.
she's got a big nose.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a single pass. It's a single pass in the art.
So,
By the
so
way,
they get into the
Tony-
fight, and
Tony, you were mentioning earlier how none of the characters have like superhero names or anything like that. I think the answer is in front of us all this time. I think it's because Eric's scared of messing with someone's trademark again.
maybe
He
He's
finally
scared
learned
to
his
say
lesson.
He's
Dude,
scared
for
to give anyone
$2.
a proper name.
it could be tariffs, an alternate to taxes. It could be, but we haven't established that there's anything in Texas that they're importing or exporting, or what their relationship is with other countries.
You
Or the US.
seriously going to get anything from the U.S. after having a war with them?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you have to assume. That's why I suggested that Mexico would be their trade partner and they would be in cahoots.
Yeah.
But even that wouldn't work because we got the North American trade agreement, right? And so
Yeah.
Mexico, if they traded with Texas, then the U.S. would cut them off, and then
Yeah.
You know who did Randy on objectivism better in a superhero context? The Incredibles. Remember that?
Yeah. So look at this guy here. So this is the guy I'm telling you about. The guy yelling at Brian, and he's got a little like man. Look, he's got these little hands on his hips. Hands on the hips. It's power pose, baby. So his face here, and then he suddenly ages like fucking 30
Oh my
years.
God,
He's this
dude.
ancient man, like
Yeah.
he's like the Crypt Keeper. He goes from fucking normal to Crypt Keeper. Like he's
Yeah.
like the fucking Two-Face from Seinfeld. Like this is what he looks like in one light, and then another light,
Joe Bennett,
he's like, "Oh shit, you're old."
Joe Bennett just goes crazy with the lines. Can't control himself.
Well, it makes sense now why he was so good at the Incredible Hulk.
So we get they fight, they separate, go, hey, go do your things, right? And the support staff is all freaking out. Then they get a call. Please.
George, I guess the Incredible Hulk has an excuse for looking different between panels.
Yeah, because he's constantly angry or not angry, and then he's constantly getting bigger or smaller. You know.
Sometimes
how I
he's a
got
white
it.
dude, sometimes he's
Well, you know what I'm seeing here? I'm seeing here a great respect for Jack Kirby, because Jack Kirby, from panel to panel. It did not draw consistently.
Yeah. Isn't Brian's name Solar? No, that's his name. That's his literal name is Brian Solari. That's his like proper legal, government name, Brian Solari. Solari is not his like superhero
It's
name.
not his alias. Yeah.
Yeah, he's literally Brian Solari. That's his last name. Solari, last name.
Okay,
Right.
so he's got an awesome normal name. So what I'm hearing is the superhero name is going to be John Smith.
No, they don't have superhero names.
Oh, okay.
It's like
There's
what Vince
literally
McMahon did
a
to
line-
all the wrestlers. Like he stopped
But there's
making
a-
gimmicks and just made them random ass Joes.
Yeah, but there's a line in the comic where Ingrid says, "I'm not in a comic book. I don't have a superhero name."
And
Yes,
Readers love when writers do that.
we're gonna get there. So, we get to they get a call. The support staff gets a call. Hey, we get more of those light streaks. By the way, like suddenly there's light streaks inside the fucking Alphacore base for some reason. But we get lots of light streaks, and then they get a call. Hey, some shit's going down. We need you. They're like, well, is there a except on the scene? And then we see a dude come out. Meth head lightning dude comes out, and he's like, yeah, there's fucking dude here, meth head lightning dude. So definitely, we got superpower beings, right? It's confirmed.
Speaking of super chat from Blue Gundam.
Blue Gundam with
Super chat
$5.
from a super
Would you
chat.
consider Texas being seceded? Eric putting his own personal politics in his book, even though he said he wouldn't do that. Yes, 100%.
Yes.
All the libertarian stuff that he put in the book, from the Texas seceding to Gooding, polymath, all of that. That's all his personal politics. There's some other stuff like the fake gamer or the fake cosplay girl is his personal
And
politics.
Chris Bacon can confirm in the chat if he's still there. Like, I believe his debate with Eric was when he had the debate with Eric, Chris Bacon went to the conclusion that Eric's view of libertarianism is way too utopian. Is that
Well,
right?
I think
Yeah,
most
it's like-
fucking libertarians are utopian. Libertarians have this weird belief that people are like wholesome and they're,
Yeah, but varying
We don't
degrees.
need
Right?
rules
But
'cause
Eric is one
everyone-
of those that's way too utopian.
we don't need
Yeah, but what I'm
rules.
saying is, like, do you think if we didn't have rules, people would still act accordingly? They'd just behave. Like, no one would take advantage of
No.
anybody.
No,
Why
Okay,
would
Chris confirms
McDonald's
it.
no.
pay you $2?
Let's have chaos. Let's have chaos everywhere.
All
I
right,
mean,
so thank you for-
it's like I've been. It's like I would.
Go
Go ahead. Yeah, do you?
Thank you for the $5.
Are we talking, are we talking about
Uh-oh.
libertarians?
Tony,
The
why'd you
what?
spoil it?
Fuck you, Red. Where's my 200? Vito made. Wait,
He made it.
better not be lying to me, Sammy.
I mean,
Red,
listen, like
stay up.
this whole libertarian thing. It's I've said this before. Libertarianism is like the extreme end of the political spectrum, opposite of communism. Like neither one is going to work.
Well, the libertarian. Wait. Libertarian ism. I just need a definition. Would it be correct to say the ones that frequent the Nike store every day?
No.
Oh, okay.
So
What?
you have to have a lot. What Chris says, but don't just ignore George. Says you have to have a lot of faith that people are benevolent and will do the right thing. That's exactly the issue with both communism and libertarianism. You have to believe that people are going to do the right thing and they're going to share and they're going to be nice and everyone's going to be fucking. And Sammy says, I'm not lying. Dick just announced that he got down to 278.5 pounds. Hell yeah. Good job, Vito.
I will say
I believe in you.
I will say the director known for coining the phrase "do the right thing" probably does go to the Nike store once a day.
I don't think he meant it like that, but okay.
He's known for his kicks.
Just,
It's got to be the shoes, he used to say.
But yeah, see, everyone in the chat is confirming there are like varying degrees. There are people who are, they have different
but
opinions.
I've heard Eric talk about it, and the way he
But the way Eric talks about it exactly is what
Yeah.
I'm referring to. Yeah.
And again, because we've heard them be like, well,
Hey,
well, what do you do with the whole ass roads? Well, people would just pay. Like, you would need to use the road, so you would just pay. No, I wouldn't. I would be the asshole, right? What would you do? Again, let me give you an example. You live in a libertarian society, right? Suddenly, Main Street gets blowed the fuck up, right? Because I'm a crazy person, I blow the fuck up out of Main Street, right? You got to get to your job. Your job says, I don't care. You got to get here. Well, there's no road, sir. Well, figure it out. Well, aren't you going to pay for it? And the job says, no, why would I pay for it? I can make it. I can fly my helicopter, Elon Musk style, to the fucking job and get there. You can't. Well, I guess that's your fucking problem. Oh, you're going to quit? Well, fuck you, because there's a line of people who will be willing to take your $70,000 a year job, right? So now what do? You're getting taken advantage of, because that's what would happen. And then you would have to spend your money to fix the road while the corporations get richer and richer off of your sweat and blood and tears, right?
Right. And so many people will go for that out of the slim hope that one day they're going to be able to become one of those rich assholes.
Wait a minute.
Everyone thinks they're going to be the rich guy.
It sounds like crowdfunding. Yeah, no, you suck up to the bigger channels, so that way you can hope that one day that you get on them.
If it becomes rich, that becomes a new poor.
In a true ANCAP society, flying cars will be invented within a week. Yeah,
they said flying cars would be around the year 2000.
S'more says people already pay tolls for roads. Government's already outsourcing roads to private companies. That's it's not. It's more complicated than that. And I don't want to veer off into a whole. Yeah, I don't want to veer off into this whole like fucking road thing again.
Guys, we already have flying cars.
We got a lot of
helicopters.
Guys, a lot of comics to cover because we got Meth Head Lightning guy, right? Who comes out? So they're like, police are like, hey, we're looking for this lady, right? Is she in the building? And Meth Head guy comes out for no reason. He just comes out and starts fucking lightning people. They're like, well, we want to arrest Gloria. And he's like, well, she's fucking not coming out. She's the old lady. Leave her alone, right? And they're like, it's felony theft. And so they got this guy who's got lightning powers, right? And no one's shooting at him. They're just like having this. He's like shooting lightning bolts. And they're like, well, let's have a discussion. We want to arrest this lady for felony. And I'm like, just fucking shoot his ass. Literally, in America now, if you came out the way Meth Head fucking lightning guy did without the lightning, they would have shot his ass, right? Oh shit, Meth Head bust out of the door, fucking shoot him, right?
Yeah.
But and again, they're going for felony theft, and they got 4 police officers in tactical SWAT gear with fucking shotguns and fucking M16s and like one of those big fucking tactical shotguns with the little like handle and shit on it, right? And as far as they know, they're arresting a lady for theft.
Oh yeah,
right?
Good point.
There's literally no reason that they should be there like that. Like again, I don't know. Is this a commentary on like police overzealousness or like now Texas is just like fuck it, we're yeehaw, we're just fucking but whatever.
Wait a minute, do the cops think they were arresting a white guy?
No, a lady. It's a lady. So then
it's possible that they got a heads up that he was living with her.
No, because they didn't call them to say, hey, they would have called ahead of time, right? They didn't call until they got there.
Well, you know more about this man than I do. Are they? Is he related to the woman?
They don't say. I guess I'm assuming that's his girlfriend.
How long were they together?
Long enough for George to shill his book. Jude says any form of government can work if you have the right technology. Star Trek is a good example of communism due to the replicator technology. Well, yeah, I mean, technically, I said if I was going to design a perfect society, it would be robo-socialism, right? If we had a slave class of robots that did all the manual labor, right? And then people could just decide if they
bring back slavery. Good to know.
Yeah.
I knew it, Tony. You're going to hell, Tony.
I wouldn't say slavery, but actually
going to burn in hell.
I would say slavery. No, I would say slavery because if they're robots that can think.
Of the Matrix before it became a thing.
I think robots eventually will do manual labor.
Well, the word robot means slave.
Yeah, if you have no mind of their own.
I mean,
But-
speaking
No,
of
it
the
literally just
replicator-
means slave. That's just what it means. Like
speaking of the replicator technology, 3D printing, lab grown
Oh, yes.
food. This is
we're almost there.
We're almost there.
Yeah, it's the start. It's a start. It's the proto version of the tech that's going
It
to
wouldn't. It wouldn't because you know what's going to happen, Jessica. There's no way that they're going to allow you to go. You know what? I got a 3D printer that makes food, right? Whopper. And he's like, sorry, you know how like when you do a prompt on Bing, and it's like, sorry, you can't put Taylor Swift's face on a frog. They're like, sorry, you can't make a Whopper. You're like, well, with 2 all beef. Sorry, we're not allowing you to make a fucking McDonald's McDouble. I just want a hamburger. Sorry, Checkers already has the patent on hamburgers. Well, can I have anything? No, none of the food is available unless you pay for your $9.99 Walmart subscription. Fuck me. I just want food out of the replicator.
Yeah, that's what the black market is for.
Then you're gonna get weird food. Like, why is there like plastic in my food? Oh, they just mixed in a little plastic with your meat byproduct, so you won't notice. But thank you for the $5, Jude. I appreciate it. We're owning our enemies tonight, big time. We're at $2,117. I'm waiting for it to get about $200 heavier because Red, he's mysteriously gone absent. Weird. But thank you for the $5.
Hey, did you do June Wong's super chat? I might have missed it.
Who?
Yeah, another one from June.
Oh, no, I missed that. Where Liberty is going, we don't need rounds.
Oh my god,
it's a good one. Good one.
I got you back.
I did miss it. Thank you. You know, just for that, we're gonna give you the 20-second.
I don't even think that's American. Why is that currency?
Huh?
It doesn't matter. It's not,
Was Vito
oh,
there
yeah,
with the
that's
thumbs up when that dude was robbing the bank earlier in the book?
Yeah, that's not. That's. Well, I don't know what that is. That isn't. Damn it. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Someone figure out the conversion. Damn it, we're back down to $2,107 until we figure out the conversion on whatever that is.
Question taught me $5 American. He gets a $5 clip.
All right.
Doesn't matter.
So anyway, so meth head electric guy, he's going nuts. But
Well, they
don't
couldn't
worry.
shoot. They definitely would have shot him because they know they couldn't tase him.
Well, they don't shoot. Like I said, they don't shoot, and then it's too late. He's fucking electrocuted them all. He's galvanized them. You're about to get galvanized. Yeah.
Galvanized.
That's what he says. He literally says that because his name is Galvin James.
Oh,
His name-
wow.
Oh, I guess the
Galvin James.
password.
Jesus.
The
Worst
worst.
thing I've ever heard.
This guy probably got beat up in high school for that.
Now the next set of panels, I need help again because again, I am not the greatest artist. I am not the greatest knower of things.
I am.
Okay, good. So you can help me out with this. So this is Braxwell. Braxwell is coming in with a flying kick. This is Galvin James. Galvin James is obviously trying to kill this guy here, right? This police officer. Okay. He's coming in with the flying
How are
kick.
you spelling
Get you to
Gelvin?
leave an old lady. So he's in mid-sentence. Boom. Brian has managed to land this kick
The Liu Kang kick.
to the face. To the face.
Where's
It's
the
kick
face?
that July tried to do
Here.
in that car that one time.
His foot has
Y'all
made
remember that
contact
story?
with his face, with the front. But here he is behind him, coming in sideways foot. So this should hit like the back of his head. He doesn't know he's there, right? He doesn't know this guy's coming. Silent but deadly, kind of a beer gut, but
Yeah, those shit's coming from the side.
Yeah,
in this
literally
panel.
silent. He doesn't. he
Yeah.
doesn't talk.
now if he was like, yo, right? And then you're like, oh shit, this guy turns around, like you show a panel of him turning around, and then bam, right in the
Yeah,
fucking
maybe he
face.
did turn around. Yeah, that's what. That
But
would make
it's
sense.
missing.
He should have been facing frontward.
Is this guy
Crackhead
supposed to be?
Yeah.
Is this guy supposed to be muscular or fat? Because he kind of looks like he has a beer belly.
Oh yeah, the
Must-
beer belly over here.
It
Yeah.
does.
Look, leave Ricky Retardo alone.
I think this artist
okay?
has
He's doing the best he
like a
can.
t-shirt.
Oh my god! How's
Doing the
he-
best he can.
And his helmet looks like the beluga's head. All of a
So
sudden.
he kicks the dude, bam, right? Dude falls. He bit his tongue, right? So this is like the joke, the running joke in this comic is that every time this guy fights the meth head electrical dude, someone hits him and he bites his tongue, right? And so now he starts talking that bet my tongue type talk, right?
Oh wow.
This is
So
the R
Braxwell, for whatever reason, there's a water pipe just sitting there, right? Just like in the middle of the floor in this fucking hotel, right? There's like a water pipe. So fucking Braxwell fucking smashes it with his foot. And he smashes it, perfectly so that the water now hits the guy. Meth head electrical dude is now short circuit. And again, I
But
don't
wouldn't-
know.
Wouldn't the current follow all the rest of the water?
I would
And
think
then
so.
Dexter up-
Also,
It should, yeah.
Also, here's the thing: he is
Man, fuck them
Electrical.
hoe ass physics.
he's electrical, right? He has
Yeah.
electrical powers. He. So getting hit with water and shorting out shouldn't hurt him because the electricity is already not hurting him, right? He's not like, I'm in pain as electricity is flowing through me. So water hitting it and causing a short might cause a sting. Like, it got like extra hot there for a second. And that
electricity
would
and
be
water
it.
don't mix.
Right. But I get what I'm saying is like if you're a guy who's a robot and you get hit with water and it shorts you out and you're like, and then you're fucking dead, right? But this is a dude who has electricity running through him, gets hit with water, gets shorted out, and then he's like passed out.
It sounds like the brother is grounded.
Mm-hmm.
What brother?
Well, the guy got hit right in the
I think
head.
he was making an electricity pun.
No, the guy's on the floor and he gets hit with water, and then he just shorts out and passes out.
Yeah, and what was his name again?
Galvin.
Yeah, Galvin. Isn't that
Galvin.
a brother's name?
No, it's the meth head. Fucking, he's literally a white meth head.
That's the villain's name. It sounds like a kid getting bullied at school's name, Galvin. Not like a villain, super villain.
There's no supervillain names.
Oh.
I don't know how many times I gotta say this. There's literally everyone just has a regular person name.
Eric
It's like,
doesn't trust himself to not infringe on someone's trademark anymore.
The guy gets knocked down.
Who's
He slams on the fucking thing. Water goes, short circuit, on the floor, passed out. I don't think that's how that would work if you had electricity running through your body.
no?
Just
Electricity
your
would
power
go
is
along
not
with the water, and then he would get shocked. What's his name? Braxwell.
Or at the very least, like it shorted his powers. His powers were like maybe he would like go, "What's going on?" Like you would see like little sparks, but they weren't like coming out. And then he punches him and knocks him out, right? Like before his powers fucking galvanized or whatever, right? But it's just the weirdest thing. Like I don't
the
think
next
that's,
panel, everyone is just stepping in that water with the electric guy just laying there.
yeah, but his power's gone now. It's out. So it's just the weirdest thing. So they get the lady and she's
They don't
like,
think it can come back.
they're
I
like,
guess
you're
they all
under
know.
arrest.
Are you saying that this particular page is shocking?
Yeah.
Oof.
What's shocking,
The whole
Is-
thing is
they arrest the lady for grand theft, and she's like, for shoplifting at the dollar store. I'm like, yeah, they arrest this lady, right? And now, in what has to be the weirdest fucking thing I've ever seen in a comic book, and this is saying a lot, right? So let me set this up for you properly. Okay? Braxwell has just knocked out the villain of the story, right? And the police have arrested the lady, and now he's about to return to the ship. Okay. What the fuck is this? It's the weirdest. Like he won
he's
the
really
fight. Now
proud
he's
of
just
himself.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
He's happy with himself.
It's like we caught
And he
him
did chest out.
taking the deepest of breaths. Like, holy, like,
He's
yeah.
going to do a diamond
Yeah.
cutter, shoulders back.
I thought about
chest
some
out, shoulders
water.
back. The weirdest thing. Also, no one decided to turn off the water. He didn't say, "Hey, you know what? Close that pipe or do something." Just fucking waste all that water.
Y'all not gonna let the girl get no pants, or none of y'all gonna get the girl some pants, or what?
Nah, she don't need no pants. Girls don't need pants. All right, Aaron left. Take it easy, Aaron. Is Ricky Ricardo? Give him some slack. Yes.
Hey, you guys!
He just flies up, and so he flies up. He doesn't say a word. They talk to him, and they're kind of like, "Oh, this guy's not talking. What an asshole, right?" And then Eric July, as a police officer and a female police officer, are now interrogating somebody, and it's the bank robber guy, right? And when I say Eric July is a police officer, I'm not saying Eric July is a police officer to be funny. Okay. What is she wearing? I think she's wearing a large sweater. Oh yeah, Braxwell also broke his ankle. But tell me if this is not Eric July, just a bald-headed Eric July.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Christ. Come on.
Joe
He's not
Bennett
fat
really loves his
enough.
job. This is what he wants to be, right?
You know what I saw right there? I saw an extra bonus check to Joe Bennett.
Probably.
That's how Eric July imagines himself to be. That's how he pictures himself in his own head.
Where's his taxation is theft hat?
Well, he's a police officer. He likes taxes. So they interrogate this guy. He's like,
Well
I don't know how to build a bomb. They're like, well, he's like, well, I learned from the internet. And they're like, we're gonna check your internet history. We're gonna find out that it's just porn. And they're like, you better tell us the truth. And he's like, well, I don't know nothing. I'm you think I'm dumb or something? And they're like, well, look, we're gonna. And then boom, they're like, his lawyer's here. His lawyer, and he's like, who? And then the lawyer from earlier, you know, the anti-accept guy, he shows up to be the lawyer. And at that point, now Brian is at the giant fucking police department. It is a giant fucking building. It's called the Barn because it looks like a fucking barn, but it's huge. Okay. And he's getting yelled at by the police chief and being told about optics and how Brian, you can't just run around the city, do whatever you want. You know, you're not in the army anymore, boy. You gotta shape up. And we get the appearance of the magical lock of hair once again. And this time, the lock of hair starts at the middle and does one of those. But over here, it does one of these. And I know I'm a stickler for this kind of stuff, but it annoys me that they can't draw his fucking hair, his signature little curl in the same spot twice. So he gets yelled at. He gets told that, just stay out of trouble. Don't fly around the city. He's like, what do you mean don't fly around the city, boss? I want to fly around the city. He's like, dude, nobody needs to see a freak flying around the city. You and Braxwell, you can fly. You scare people. They don't like it.
But he's a good guy.
Yeah,
So,
but it makes people nervous because
do we get nervous
yeah,
when we,
yeah, that's
when we
right.
see
Like the
hospital
parents.
helicopters flying?
No.
around?
Like the parents who are nervous when they go to school to drop their kids off at school and they see police officers, doing the, police outreach, and they're going like, I'm triggered by the cops going to the school.
Like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, take it easy, Bianca. Have a good night.
I'm triggered by cops going to school.
The faces don't look good.
Yeah, the faces are something else.
It looked like Joe tried in some panels but gave up for the most part because
Exactly. Yeah, he phoned it in.
So the lawyer comes to the guy. He's like, hey, what'd you tell him? He's like, I didn't tell him nothing. He's like, good. Don't say shit. I'm going to take care of it. I'm your guy. Don't worry. And he goes, I got to go meet with my other client. His other client is Galvin. Galvin is in a special cell. They're keeping him grounded so he can't be electrical anymore. Right?
What, like Magneto?
Something like that. But he's grounded. He's like, hey, you're bad. You're grounded for a week. So then we go again. with no warning, no like across town. They're just suddenly on a boat, and it's those two rich people. But the one guy's on a date, but then the other chick busts in. He's like, "Hey, get the fuck out of here, bitch." He's like, "Hey, you know that shit you were gonna take care of? I took care of it because you fucked it up, and I'm gonna clean up the mess you made." And then, strangely, the police officers are wearing Alphacore outfits. So this confused the hell out of me, okay? Because they're in the police department, right? And then we see the holding cells of the police department, and we saw earlier there were actual police officers, right? So we know that the police exist. The art looks like 3D models that was painted. Could be. Maybe
Unfortunately, we can't rule that out anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some elements probably, yeah.
After the whole 2 weeks later, thing he doesn't establish location or time anymore. No, not in this book. And again, this isn't Eric writing. This is Chuck Dixon writing. So you think he would, but so the strangest thing happens again. We know that there's police officers, right? But for whatever reason, they're wearing Alphacore hats and uniforms inside the police station. And we know that Alphacore was a division of the police officers, but they were like a separate, like a SWAT team. Like you wouldn't have SWAT team members like watching people in the jail cells, right?
Yeah, it's usually prison wardens.
Yeah, so you would think that they'd just be regular cops or prison officers, or because these are holding cells.
So it's possible
Again,
that this is a jail specifically for excepts.
No, because there's a regular guy there. The regular guy's there too.
Yeah, this is a regular jail.
The guy they arrested earlier.
Then why are they putting this
robber guy
superpowered guy there?
It's a regular jail for the excepts.
the normal guy and the except are in the same jail. They have him grounded. They have Alphacore guys as police
And that's
officers.
where they messed up.
And then to top it all off, right? So we got this. So they're like, "Hey, I need a light." So somehow this guy has a cigarette, and the super smart Alphacore guy doesn't seem to think, "Wait a minute, where did this prisoner, whose arms are locked up, who has nothing, who's in a orange jumpsuit and has no contact with anybody else, where did he get a cigarette?" It's good training, good training on the Alphacore. So the guy attacks him, grabs his arm. He touches the taser, and that gives him his electricity back, even though he's grounded, which makes no sense, right? Because the thing that he's hooked up to is supposed to ground him and keep him from being electrical. So I don't think a taser electricity would be enough to overcome the grounding from this specifically designed mechanism to keep this guy from powering.
Why would they bring a taser with them?
Maybe it's an alternating current.
2 tasers, because the guy has a regular taser, right? The guy has a regular taser, which he grabs and tries to lick the electricity off of. But then the lady shows up, and she has one of those the guns with the darts, that shoot out. And she shoots him with a taser gun. One dart goes in the guard that he's holding. The other one hits the meth head guy. And he gets electrical now. Now his powers work because now, boom, he's got electricity. And he shoots the 2 guards with his electricity. He breaks free. And then he shows up to the cell of the other dude. He's like, "Hey, we got the same lawyers." And the lawyer said he wanted me to collect his fee. And that's where the guy dies. We have the burnt, crisp body of the fucking bank robber. And there's a lot of blood for some reason, right? Like there's an awful lot of blood everywhere for a guy shooting electrical beams. Okay.
Maybe it's that time of the month.
So I'll show the panel so you can see what I'm saying. Again, I don't know how physics work, but guy who gets zapped with electricity, right? why there's big puddles of blood far away. They're in the cell. Guy comes to him, zaps him through the bars. Blood.
That's not
just
what.
blood
That's
everywhere.
not how zapping works.
Blood.
I
Look,
thought this
there's
guy was
blood.
melting.
Blood. Like what the hell is this?
This is some
It's-
Mortal
it's very-
Kombat going on here.
It's very woke to show the police this inept.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
The police are fucking retarded. Okay? they literally are. And again, we alternate between the police, the regular police.
That's what we was telling y'all.
Hey, you get to alternate between regular police and then the Alphacore police, right?
Suits saying it's goo.
Well, you got to hand it to Eric July. He actually portrayed the police accurately.
It's not Eric July's book. He didn't write
That's
it.
the problem. Yeah, it's Chuck Dixon.
Can you just give me that illusion just for a moment?
No,
guys?
can't. So this is the part where I said they had a fight, right? So he goes, "You have a homicide by accept that falls under our jurisdiction," and then Ingrid's like, "And look, and what looks like a conspiracy that will lead to more accepts." The lady says, "I guess we could use the muscle. Muscle, we're fully capable of investigating this ourselves. We'll see what downtown has to say about that." So now they're fighting, right? Obviously, they don't want to work together. They get in an elevator, and then suddenly they're like, "Okay, you go here, you go there," and they're working together. I guess they all had an orgy on the way down. They were loving an elevator, loving you. Or something, because suddenly they're like all friendly, like fuck it. Well, you go there, we'll take care of this, and you go investigate that shit. And there's more lights everywhere. Fucking Joe Bennett loves his fucking light streaks.
Yeah. Just any opportunity.
So this other guy shows up, and apparently he has the list of all the known associates, right? For Gelvin James. And he gives it to Ingrid, and they're like, "We're going to investigate." And he's like, "I need a ride." And he's like, "Well, why don't you get a car?" "Well, I don't have a car." "Well, why don't you get in with me?" So bootleg Cletus Cassidy is like, "Get in the car with me." And she's like pissy because she has to be a passenger. She didn't want Brian to carry her for some reason because she didn't want to be Solari's passenger, right? So
Hey,
she eventually
she don't
goes
need
with the
man.
dude. Yeah, she don't need no man. She goes with the dude, right? So now that lady's pissed. She's like, "Hey, didn't I tell you not to do shit? I was gonna take care of it." And he's like, "No, don't worry, I took care of it." They're like, "No, you idiot." They're gonna realize that the lawyer is the same lawyer. You fucked us, right? You fucked us with your stupid plan of getting the electricity guy to kill the bomb guy, right? She's like, "Stop trying to fix it. I'm going to fix this shit." And that's when Billy Bob shows up. Who's Billy Bob? Billy Bob is a fat hillbilly with red hair who can turn into a magma monster. Okay. She is hiring Billy Bob, or he's hiring Billy Bob to take care of things. But she has a better idea. She hires the Purple Man. Joe Bennett and Chuck Dixon have stolen the Purple Man from Marvel Comics.
I guess Jessica Jones is okay. She doesn't
Yeah.
have to get the
Only had
purple one.
Rockstar lawyers. Yeah. So, and it's the weirdest thing, right? So, I'm going to show you the panel here. They go back to the bank, and suddenly the bank is missing the triangle symbol between the Texas and Trust, because that was a big symbol on there. So that's gone. But this guy here in the purple suit, he has the power to just, "Hey, I want you to do something." And they're like, "Well, I can't do that." He's like, "No, you can." He does Jedi mind tricks on people. That's his accept power, right? And so, wouldn't you know it, he gets into the bank, gets the money out of the deposit, leaves a package in the deposit box, and he leaves the bank seconds before both the Bubba guy shows up and Brian Solari. So Brian's like, "Hey, I want to talk to the manager," as the other guy's leaving with the money, right? Then we again, it's like a weird jump cut. So then we jump cut to fucking Ingrid and Cletus Cassidy here, and she's pissed because she's bored and she wanted to be a detective, but dude's like, we just got to go, go from fucking suspect to suspect till we find a lead. And he's like, you should get a car, and you could call it the because he's like trying to figure out what her superhero name is, and she's like, I don't have a superhero name. I'm not a comic book character, bucko. Little lines from the comic. Because she's a girl boss. And they go to the apartment of this known
She doesn't
associate.
seem like much of a boss yet.
Not yet. Well, she goes to the meth head's known associate location. And the Cletus Cassidy guy is now doing something. Some sparks are coming out of his finger behind her back. Right? And then he touches the lock and the door opens. And we don't know what's going on yet. We don't know. She didn't see this, apparently. And she's like, I'm feeling that feeling. You're an accept. And he's like, yeah. But before he gets a chance, meth head's there. Boom. And he's like fucking shooting electricity. And here's the weirdest thing to me, right? So meth head has been hiding out in this guy's house, right? At no point did he think I should put on a shirt, maybe some socks, shoes. Because when he bust out of the apartment originally, right? He was it was early morning or whatever. You would just figure, hey, he just bust out. But he's still just in his fucking pants. No shirt, no shoes, no service.
Maybe the only piece of clothing that doesn't catch on fire he has is his rubber pants he's wearing.
Possibly. That's a good explanation.
They're kind of baggy. But...
It must be made out of the same material that Bubba's fucking overalls are made out of. Because... And I shit you not, this makes no sense. And again, this is one of those things where I was like, this is one of those moments where I was like, oh, it's a comic book. You have to just kind of give it, right? Because his jacket and his hand are burning up, right? So that does mean that there is heat coming from this, magma here, right? But his overalls are not on fire, right? Like he's got like special overalls, and special shoes. So that's a thing in this universe. So Brian's there. He fights.
That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the thing. He fights the magma monster. And then Meth Head, his neck grows like 3 sizes. And what is possibly the worst panel in the whole comic.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Look at it. That guy did not skip neck day. Terrible. But he gets beaten by Ingrid. She whoops his ass eventually. He's knocked out. Brian attacks Magma Guy. Magma Guy's shooting out his flames out of his mouth. He's blocking it with a wooden table. Smacks the guy with the wooden table. And it keeps cutting back and forth. So we go back to the electricity guy. He gets back up. The other guy who got shot with electricity now has a big red stain on his bulletproof vest, indicating that the electricity has somehow caused a wound. Right?
But you got to give it to Brian Solari. It was a pretty good idea to block fire with wood.
It was. Eventually, though, she reads him his rights and whoops his ass. Brian gets shot with flames. And then he's defeated. Brian Solari, hero of the Texas War, is defeated by Bubba, the magma monster.
What was America fighting with?
Yeah, good question.
The whole of America.
The whole of America. If only they had Bubba on their team.
And presumably America's allies.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do we just assume at this point they just let Texas succeed out of pity?
They're
Possibly.
Like, you know what?
You guys are sad. Just go. We don't want you anymore. But yeah, so he's down. He's out. For whatever reason, Meth Head decides in one last gasp, he jumps out the window to his death. Meth Head dead. So then Bubba goes inside the safe. He's looking for the safety deposit. And again, they have the safety deposit boxes inside the safe and not like in a separate room, which sometimes they have. Either way, but he goes in the safe. The bank manager, who is a normal human, closes the safe, trapping Bubba in there. Brian gets up. He's like, "Oh, he's in there with all the money." Right? Bubba powers up, but the manager says, "Hey, don't worry. There's only a limited amount of air in there, right? It's like an airproof safe." So the guy, by starting on fire, has burned up all the oxygen in the room and passes out from hypoxia. And they basically just, we defeated him. He's defeated. Got defeated by a normal guy.
Why did the meth head jump out the window?
There's no explanation.
Just done with that character and was like, have him jump out the window.
Yeah, I mean, he gets whipped by Ingrid. Maybe he didn't jump out. Maybe she hit him and he flew out. It's hard to tell because he hits him. He's like, ah. It flips over to fucking Brian, and then suddenly he's just flying out the window, right? So I guess she threw him out, and they're just like okay with them killing a dude. She's like, oh, I guess you just like killed a dude. Whatever.
Yeah, remember the low IQ police are going to take care of this, so they have no problem.
Okay, so maybe he's not dead because he's in a rubber suit. I just noticed in the back, he's in a rubber suit with like an oxygen mask. So I guess he's alive. I guess he survived a 2-story or 2-floor. He got knocked out a window into a dumpster, and he's just okay, just fine. Yeah. He's just sleeping. It's like Batman. He's sleeping.
What if that's a body bag, though?
Well, why would they need the oxygen, though?
Oh, yeah, that's true. So he's alive then.
See, that's him right there.
Ah, yes. Okay, so he's alive.
These are police officers again, even though they're wearing green.
So it's not Poli anymore.
Yeah, not the Poli. Actually, that guy is Poli.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
He's the Poli, but this guy's the police.
Find a fake cop.
So we got 3 factions here. The Poli, the police,
that's
and
what
the
it is.
Alphacore.
No, the Poli, he's actually an undercover criminal who's been sneaking in with the police, getting the inside info. It's going to be revealed in the next book. They're like, hey, he's going to pull it off the Poli. Like, they didn't catch you? Like, no, they didn't notice I had a Poli shirt on.
They try to arrest him, and he was like, look, I didn't lie.
Yeah, I wasn't impersonating the police. I was the Poli. You can't get me. Damn it.
And the light beams again.
It's just weird. It must have been a nice payday for Chuck to take this on. Yeah. So then she's like, well, it looks like you're an XSEP too. He's like, yeah. He's like, oh, I'm sorry that I thought you were being mean to me. He's like, nah, it's okay. It's okay. But, my ability is kind of shitty. I have Magneto powers. He literally says, I can manipulate anything metallic. That only makes me a 2 on the Schuster scale.
Oh, wow.
He can manipulate anything metallic. And she's like, well, if you work on it, you can rank up on the scale. So I guess.
Yeah, that's right. Get fucked, Magneto.
Yeah, in Chuck's world, Magneto's power is shitty. It's a parlor trick. But if you train your abilities, they'll improve somehow. They'll get stronger.
He's like a Pokemon.
Because she goes, you move up the scale with some work. It's like a muscle. But that would literally mean that there would be no limit to everyone's abilities, right? You just keep working. You just keep getting stronger.
Galvan is named after the electric Pokemon Galvantula. So
Yeah.
who
But
knows?
what I'm saying is like it doesn't make any sense. Either your power should be like this is like if you do work and you learn the how intricate you can use your abilities, right? The nuances of your powers. Then I can understand like now people see that you could do more, so you go up the scale, right? You're more dangerous. It shouldn't make you more powerful, right? Like if Magneto only thought he could open pickle jars, right? Oh, look, I can open pickle jars. Oh, the women love me because I'm the pickle jar opening guy, right? But they're like, hey, dude, did you know that you could actually lift cars? Like, oh, I can lift cars? Like, yeah, look. Like, oh, shit, now you're dangerous because you realize you can lift a car, right? But his power never changed. He just never knew it. That's the difference there. It's not like Magneto's like doing push-ups and then suddenly like he can lift stronger things. Like, I don't know how this shit works.
Well, it sounds like the madder Magneto gets, the stronger he gets.
It's possible. Are you saying that if you be great, the most you are, the more exceptional? Yeah. They're part Goku. Awesome. They've already made excepts for him.
Saiyans.
He just needs to gain more experience points.
Yeah. Magneto was an Omega level mutant. He was like considered at one point one of the strongest. I mean, literally the Earth is covered with magnetic poles and there's magnetism all in the air. Like, but he can control anything metallic. But he just thinks it's a party trick. So they rescue Bubba, Poli. They come and get him. And this
Okay,
is
so they have. It sounds like they have a good understanding of their universe. They're trying to create flaws of the story.
No, they have a shitty understanding of the universe, and this panel will tell you why. And so this person comes in, right? Because they want to stop, Bubba here. Bubba's. They let him. They open the doors.
I can't believe they named him Bubba.
Well, he's Billy Bob, but then they called him Bubba because it's like a nickname for hillbillies. But so this person comes in. It looked like a lady, but apparently that's the helmet. It's not hair, right? But he's dressed like a firefighter, right?
Wait a second.
And this is not the police. This is
another Poli.
Square. No, it's not even a Poli because it's
Uli.
square.
Oh wow, there are 4 factions now.
Yeah, the Oli. Ooh, lie. He's like, hey, go douse him. Right?
Yo, this is getting out of hand. Holy shit.
This would be
Where's Gooding? This is where Gooding should have walked in.
This is a fireman, but who's paying for the fireman?
Just an opportunity to make Gooding relevant.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, did we get a confirmation of how Gooding's name is spelled?
Yeah, not the no I, Goodyng.
YNG, yeah.
Okay, so then they do the whole thing. They're like, "Hey, what was that guy here for?" They figure out that he was trying to go into one of the boxes. Brian's just like, "Well, this is the box." And they're like, "Do you have a warrant?" He's like, "Fuck warrants," and just opens the box, crushes it, and opens the box.
We don't need no stinking batches.
He's like, "It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission." And the dude's just letting him. The guy who works at the bank, who's the bank manager, is watching this except literally steal stuff out of the safety deposit box, right? Without telling the police.
He's okay with it.
Maybe he's got a kickback. He's got a kickback.
So then we whiplash again to some studio where the lawyer guy is now like doing another little public speech thing, and he's talking about accepts. And they do the whole, well, maybe when the police brought in accepts, that means the criminals had to up their game, and it's causing more violence because if you have super police, then super criminals have to be even more super.
Oh, wow. Like as if I haven't heard that plot before. Wow.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. Yeah. Wait a minute. The police brought in
Somebody's been watching The Dark Knight.
Yeah. So what? They made an order to the Acme company? What?
Yes.
Yo, Kiss says his name is Billy Bob, but his superhero name is Bubba. It's in honor of Eric's great grandfather's neighbor.
Well, he's not a hero. That would be a super villain. It is cliche. It is the cliche.
Well,
it is.
thing
Well, to
ever.
be fair, his grandfather didn't like his neighbor anyways, so fuck him.
If Chuck Dixon has anything to do with that plot, by the way, it's showing his age. Like
Well, it's showing Batman. He's like, I remember when Batman
yes,
got that.
his
that
head is
argument.
stuck in
Let's
Batman. Yeah,
just put the Batman argument into the book. So yeah, they do that, and then it's kind of like almost waved off because again, it's just the lawyer on TV, like a side plot thing. The police are like, "Hey, we want to question you because you were the lawyer of the two guys, and one of your clients killed the other client." He's like, "Well, am I under arrest?" They're like,
Wait.
I don't know.
Wait, is this Better Call Saul?
Yeah, because it gets better though. So they let him go to the bathroom, right? And then the Purple Man's in there, and the Purple Man's like, "What's up, dude?" And next thing you know, he jumps out the window, and the lawyer guy is dead.
literally the Purple Man. Wonderful.
Yeah. Then we whiplash back to the Alphacore headquarters, and turns out in the package that they got from the bank is a flash drive, and they don't know what it's for. And this is where we get those panels with the dick nose, right? So I put those on Twitter.
Yes, the infamous panel.
The infamous dick nose panel. So as you can see, we talked about this already. This glass is rounded, and this one is less, and we got the two things. So the glasses change between frames. But also, look at the ceiling here. Is MC Escher designing the ceilings for the Alphacore base? Because I can't figure out where anything is.
Yeah,
Because this line and then this line
this
goes
looks
here.
like
but
German expressionist art for some reason.
Yeah. But is this flat or is this like where does everything lead?
Oh yeah, they're just giving respect to Jack Kirby.
It's a fucking ceiling. Why does it have to be so overly drawn?
So, he got this Terminator look. He looks fat as fuck too. Look at that. Like, dude got pregnant in between panels.
I need to go on a diet.
Yeah. So the reason that they're laughing
Here it
at him
is.
Here it
the
is.
dick nose. The reason they're laughing at him is because I know it's hard to tell, but his eyebrows were singed when Billy Bob shot him with the fire. That's why they're smaller now. That was why they were laughing at him. They don't point it out, which would be helpful, right? Like one question, Bri. What's with the shades? Okay, happy now? She's here though. Look at the position of everybody. Okay, he's at the front of the table. Braxwell without his helmet. Ricky Ritardo here. The other lady, I think her name is Sandy. Ingrid. This guy, I forget his name, just the asshole dude.
Sandy.
Here's him. Why is she behind him? There's nobody behind him.
Oh, they do the same thing in the trailer where they just teleport.
And now he's here, and now these people. Did he just turn around? Is that what it is? Like he turned around and took his glasses off. Happy now, and they're like, "Yes, we're happy because you've turned around and we can't see your face."
They have teleportation powers and shape-shifting powers too.
And he
That's
goes,
the
"It's
lore.
not that funny." No one's laughing though. Here's the thing, right? You go, "What's with the shades?" Pulls them down. Happy now. It's not that funny.
Does he have
Nobody's
scars on his head?
laughing. Yeah, because he got shot with fire. But nobody's laughing. She's not. There's no ha ha coming out of her. There's no like ha ha background, from the other guys, right? So why would he say it's not that funny? No one cracked a joke about it. There's. What is he reacting to?
He's being
Is he
preemptive.
proactively? Yeah, he's preemptively. It's not that funny. You kidding? Even Braxwell's cracking up in his own way. That's him cracking up in his own way.
I thought he was just admiring the dick nose.
Also, that's the moon.
Oh yeah.
The moon is level with the spaceship they're in.
Jesus, how high are they?
Yes.
How high are they off the ground?
But here's the moon
Look,
here.
there was a lot of people that were pretty high when they were writing and making this comic book. I'm just telling you right now.
True.
Well, explain this one to me because here's the they're in this air. Here's the floor, the the ground. This is the city, the Alphacore headquarters, the Eagle's Nest. That's the moon. What's this white? Did they forget to draw anything here?
Is this
The
daylight?
sky is white for some reason.
No, it's daylight.
No, it's not daylight because this is
Yeah,
the
but
moon.
how is it daylight if the moon is there?
These are
Yeah, right.
clouds. You can see that it's nighttime because everything's dark. There's dark here.
And why
This
does
is
Flores
all
Park
just
look like
white.
a crater?
I don't know, but what is that? I swear they forgot something was supposed to go into this white section that they just didn't put in.
Look at this. Flores Park looks like somebody dug a hole and then built Flores Park in there. Look at that.
It's a crater from the war, and then they put the city inside of it.
It's like
That's where they
Wakanda.
dropped
It
the
has
nuke.
horse
That's
field
where they
on
dropped
top.
the nukes.
Remember in
Yeah, they forgot the color.
no, remember Age of Ultron where they took the city up and then it fell? That's what they did.
Yeah.
They lifted the city up, it fell, and so like it dug back in like an extra couple feet.
Sokovia, whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Your
definitely
country.
forgot
Oh,
the color.
yeah. One of my countries, exactly.
And so that is the top of the page, right? So when
Just-
you're looking
just-
at it,
Just another guy said maybe the universe is inside a warehouse with lights on.
so you get the actual. Damn it!
That would make a good cosmic horror movie.
That's why it's called the Rippaverse. It just takes place in Rippa's warehouse.
Oh,
The Rippa house. It is. Let me show the panel again. That's the top of the page, right? So in the book, because I scanned some images from the book in order to give you this. Right, so this is the top of the page. This black here would be the last page. So this is the top of the page when you're looking at it, but still there's a white. It's like a panel gutter, except for the moon's in the panel gutter, right? So
Right.
that don't make no sense. So then it can't be a panel gutter, right? Because like this sticking into the this sticking
Skybox
into the
hasn't
gutter,
loaded yet.
yeah, and right, like,
Totally forgot.
this sticking into it makes sense, right? Like stylistic, but then when you just throw the moon in there, for the fuck of it, like the effect is no longer there. All right. So after they laugh at him,
Wait a second. Alphacore patrols the streets and the skies, and they let that shit happen. they let the sky just not load in.
they let this. It's just dead space. It's a gutter moon.
They should have caught that.
Yeah, I think that just if they didn't draw the moon, it would have been fine. It would have been a fine panel, right? But I think the moon is what's throwing it off. Like, why is the moon there? Like, what's going on? All right, so they make fun of him, and then again whiplash because this thing, like Chuck Dixon must have been told, do not put location, time, any of those things in your book. Do not let nobody just fucking go. Next panel. So we're back at the police station, presumably, where they're going over the footage and they figure out, wait a minute, the purple man was at the bank, and the purple man was at that place where the guy threw himself off the out of the bathroom window, right? So like, doom, 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 we need to find the purple man. But at the same time, they're like, hey, we're not going to put this weird thumb drive that you got from the bank, Brian, into the computer because we don't know what's on it, right? It might like have viruses or like CP or aerosolized taxes on it, and we can't just put that in there, right? So
It's got the video of him and Chuck, if you know what I mean.
yeah, this is Eric's like dancing, like so. They're like, we're not just gonna put it in the computer, right? And then at that point, Ingrid's like, well, wait a minute, where did you even get this? He's like, well, I stole it from the bank. Essentially, they're like, you didn't file like a D99, like. So he's not by the book, basically, right? He went from being by the book Alphacore guy to like, I just fucking wing it. I'm rebel cop, just do whatever the fuck I want, right?
Wait, what kind of military police doesn't have a computer to stick that in? Like
They have a
just like
computer. They just said they don't have like an extra computer.
There's a
But
good
also-
question from Wizard. Do the characters talk more unique now since Chuck is doing the dialogue?
Yeah, they actually do. They seem
Well, that's good news.
like actual characters. They
Eric
seem
was like,
individuals.
can I write a little dialogue? I mean, people can't tell the difference between us. And he was like,
I don't know about that.
I can tell.
What I'm saying is, in ISOM, Brian was very militaristic, like strong, forceful. This one, he's kind of goofy. People make fun of him. He was in the army, and it's established in the dialogue that that did happen. He was in the army. But what sort of army guy goes from being the hero of the Texas War, good army guy, to a police officer, and now he's just like breaking all the rules? Like, I just do whatever the fuck I want, right? Like what happened to you? Like unique military training? Like, just seems like he would be more by the book. He should be more by the book guy, right? Maybe it's too cliche. Maybe like we're gonna go the opposite way. So also in Flores Park, they have hyper high tech camera phones and everything, and so the police officers call and say, "Hey, we just figured out that Purple Man might be connected, so we're gonna need your help," right? So they send Braxwell. He just flies out of the spaceship, and this is where.
Speaking of flying by, I don't want to just zoom past this point about them not having an extra computer to put the flash drive in. I've seen a lot of crime shows and procedurals and stuff like this. A lot of the time, the whole point is getting the flash drive. The hang-up
They
point
didn't know they were getting a
never,
flash drive. It was just a mysterious flash drive. Like they didn't know it was going to be in there, and they're like, "We don't know what's on this," and they don't have. Because they're in the sky base, they don't have like a computer that's not connected to the
all
network.
this equipment.
No, it's all connected to the same network. You can't. I'm not going to let you because it makes no sense. You would not just have this what? Let's have one computer not connected to the network just in case. It's just not a thing that people do.
No, that's exactly what they do. That's a security precaution.
This is what they do.
No.
This is what they do.
We accidentally became the official Rippaverse lore
Yes, we did. Everybody in the chat is making up good lore.
We remember stuff, and we're like, "Wait a minute, this is contradicting with this other stuff, right?" Like, anyway, they don't have a computer. This is the scene that kind of
investigation unit.
No, it's not. It's not an investigation unit. It's not. Remember, Alphacore is not a criminal investigation unit.
Right?
She wanted to be a detective,
though, right?
No. She literally says
police
detective
people's computers all the time. That's how they.
They're not police. They're like SWAT. The SWAT doesn't have a computer division. They're the SWAT team. They're essentially the
SWAT does.
I guarantee they don't. They have police computers inside the police station, but I don't think they have like a special SWAT hideout that they like. The SWAT team, first off, doesn't live in the SWAT building, right? So
they don't have a SWAT cape.
Yeah, there's no SWAT cape. Okay, like SWAT man. Like no.
This is a plot hole. They should have.
What about a SWAT hideout?
No, but either way, there's a special base. They don't have a computer. They just like, hey, we're not going to put it in a computer. It's going to be important later. You have to understand. They're setting something up. Okay,
multi-trillion-dollar company thing. They don't have an extra computer.
No pigeons, no computers. But this
all
next
you have
scene
to do is not connected to Wi-Fi or an Ethernet cable. Problem solved.
They don't want to. They just didn't.
This is so dumb.
It's yes. But you think that's dumb? Here's even dumber. So he's like, "We good." Are you referring to the nastiness this afternoon? I am. We're good. But only because I had
giving
already
her a massage.
Yeah,
I know it's not Braxwell, but I'm joking.
I had already cleaned up your mess before you dispatched that flaming rube. And the money from the safe, I'll think of it as my fee for saving your butt. So what did they find in my box? That depends on how curious the police are and how they decide to utilize it. They'll no longer be in a position to trouble us should they go for the bait. And any connection to us? As long as the two thugs keep their mouths shut, I took the liberty of silencing that lawyer for good. They're talking about killing people, framing the police, fucking up the police station in front of two masseuses. It is not even. They don't even. At no point does a guy go, "Is he gonna tell anybody?" Don't worry, he's
Oh
deaf.
yeah,
Like,
purple
like,
hair, woke.
Yeah. There's no like they're not like deaf masseuses or anything. Like they're literally just like random masseuse people. Like, fuck, I don't care. Do super criminal activity. Fuck it. So Braxwell shows up to the neighborhood where they've tracked down, the Purple Man. And this is where he says his first of two. He has two lines. Right? This is where he says his first line. Okay, so they go, "You made all the preparations for the bust. You make the breach and the arrest. We'll move in once he's subdued." Then the cop says, "Wait a minute, change of plans. We might not need that breach." And this is when Shagsworth's favorite character says his first ever line. Are you ready for this? Can you handle Braxwell's first official Rippaverse line?
Oh, let's hear it. Oomph. Wonderful.
That's it.
That's it.
That's it. So all of ISOM 1, all of ISOM 2.
And Ricky's helmet. What happened?
2
to it?
years.
Look at that.
Yeah, Ricky Ritardo's helmet has changed a little. He's got the special helmet. So that's it. So then Purple Man's there. It's like, "Hey, leave me alone. I'm Purple Man." And they're like, no. We're going to arrest you anyway. They got tape. Guys, they figured out
Duct tape. Wonderful.
if we duct tape Purple Man's mouth, he can't talk to us. And that's where we get, Ricky Ritardo was listening to Dr. Dre in his headset. That's
So
how come he
this
didn't
is
hear
literally
Purple
the Purple Man. I thought you guys were joking.
It's literally it's literally
Man.
the
No, it's
purple
literally
man.
the Purple
Yes.
Man.
Jesus Christ.
Flip that page for the milking table. But so we were talking about this earlier, George. They actually put the exact lyrics, to part of the Dr. Dre song. And pretty sure that's no bueno. And so then they're arresting this guy, the Purple Man guy, and then two other dudes just show up, one with a baseball bat and one with a dragon arm. Not a dragon body, just
because since we already had the Purple Man, if you go back 2 pages when they're in the massage parlor, it looks like Luke Cage and Jessica Jones at the massage parlor.
Those are the masseuses undercover. It's a crossover. Crossover-ish.
Jessica Jones, by the way, first season, fire. Wonderful show.
Third season sucked.
Yes.
I didn't even know
these guys are mad. The excepts are mad, I guess, that they're arresting this other except. It's not really clear. It would have been interesting if when the Purple Man came out, he was like, "You guys better leave because I've convinced all the other excepts in the neighborhood to kill you or something," right? Like, give us an indication that these guys are like under mind control or something, right? But these just two guys just show up and they're like, "We're gonna beat you up for arresting Purple Man," and then they're not shown again. We don't. I guess Ricky Ritardo beats them up, and it's not shown. But this is where Brian says, "You know what, Sandy?" And yes, her name is Sandy. I'm just going to stick this.
Great.
I'm going to stick this thumb drive into our supercomputer. Don't worry, because I'm sure that you guys are always talking about your antivirus programs and shit. And maybe the worst that could happen is you'll have to change a few passcodes. Don't worry. And then suddenly, red flashing lights go off, and he has the stupidest look on his face. This is your hero of the Texas War, guys. Your hero. He looks like Steve McMahon's like, "Oh fuck, gonna flip that up."
That's a meme face.
And this is also a meme face. "You're such a techno clown," and she's yelling at him for putting that in the computer.
You literally had a guy who could fly to Best Buy if you didn't have a computer. If for some reason you didn't.
Yeah, he looks like Hank Hill.
damn it.
God damn it, Bubba.
Mustard Dog says he looks like Hank Hill.
That's my favorite face of all the
Bill
faces
Murray.
that he wore. That's my favorite face. Yeah. So then the computer, and again, I'm no scientist, right? I don't claim to be a scientist. I don't claim to be an electrician.
I am.
But from my understanding, a computer that is infected with a computer virus cannot suddenly shoot electricity out of it.
Yes, it can.
It can? Is that how that works? Like if my computer gets a virus, suddenly it can shoot targeted electricity.
Yep.
Because Sandy gets electrocuted by the computer.
Yep.
And then we see that the computer has a little like devil face on it. They're like,
Yep.
oh no, the computer's been hijacked.
Yeah, it's legit
It
science.
turned into Ultron.
And the funny part, this is how stupid it is. Ray's the guy's name, the chief of Alphacore, I guess, whatever. He goes, "This is normal, right? The system's rebooting or something." I don't think so, Bry. This is what a virus looks like, guys. This is what a virus looks like. Like they're looking at a screen and they go, "Yep, that's computer virus. That's what a computer virus looks like."
A
guys."
devil face, wonderful.
So you're telling me that the reason plot earlier was so they could do even stupider later.
Yes,
I'm done.
this is bad, very very bad. All that from an itty bitty flash drive. Fucking Brian Solari is the world's stupidest fucking person.
Again, Chuck Dixon showing his age. Like, that's not how computers work.
This is not a good things in small packages
that's
here.
a good
We've
point.
been hijacked. Dun, dun, dun.
This is literally a case where size does not matter.
Hey, could this be really Eric July writing it?
Yeah, he's gonna be like, "See, you like the book? Wait a minute, you didn't like the book? No, it was Chuck. It was Chuck. Don't worry, it was Chuck. It was Chuck. It wasn't me. Wasn't me secretly writing it." So, what's her name? The lady Lillian, right? She gets a little alert on her phone, I guess, because she's like, "Excuse me, I gotta leave the bar," and she goes somewhere. They don't really show where because we're just going back and forth. This is one of those like. So now we're back to them, and the whole Eagle's Nest is now crashing. And they're at Club Lust. She leaves the club, and she's hearing what's going on inside there. And they're talking about the Eagle's Nest is crashing. It's falling to earth. They got no controls. They don't know what to do. We see that Braxwell has beat up the two dudes. They're just on the floor getting arrested. And they're like, "Oh my God, look. The fucking Eagle's Nest is flying out of the sky." And they're like, "I don't think that's supposed to happen." And they're like, "Yeah, Braxwell, look, your buddies need you. There's a problem." And Brian, who's Superman, is trying to stop it, but he's not strong enough. The white guy is not strong enough. He needs Braxwell to help him. And the two of them push the Eagle's Nest out of the way of a building, which is weird because there would be a building on the other side, but they managed to push it out of the way of a building, and it sort of works. But there's debris, and Braxwell is able to save a black family from being crushed by debris.
Black Lives Matter.
While Brian saves a bus of white people. It's weird because Brian saves the white people and Braxwell saves the black people.
Oh, wow.
I don't know if it's a coincidence or it's just a thing that happened.
They delegated themselves.
They self-delegated.
You take care of the white guys, I'll take care of the black guys. No problem. Even though Ricky doesn't speak.
Was the fact that they changed the name to Eagle's Nest public knowledge because they could be like, "What's the Eagle's Nest?" No, I'm just saying the Eagle's Nest for our sake. The other characters on the ground were not like, "Is the Eagle Nest?" They're just like, "Hey, look, something's happening. They need you." I'm just saying things so we're all on the same page of what's going on. But the cops are like, "We need to immediately evacuate because they're crashing they're going to crash the Eagle's Nest right into the barn, which is the police station's nickname." They don't tell you the police station's nickname is the barn. You just sort of have to figure it out. You have to be like, they keep calling someplace the barn. And you're like, "Oh, okay, guess that's the police station, right?" Thank you for making that clear, Chuck. But that's when Cletus Cassidy comes out. He's like, "I got this." because they've established earlier that he can control anything metallic, and wouldn't you know it, the eagle's nest is made out of metal. And it's going down, and they're like, we're not leaving. We're going to stay here. If there's a chance for us to reverse this virus, we're going to stay. So they're all staying on the thing, and the bad guys are like, yeah, fucking let's go. Fucking crash that shit. They're all excited. And then he's like, not in my town, baby. And he uses, and again, I don't know if this is, they're like, we don't want to make it look like Magneto, so we're just going to make it look like yellow lights. But this is him controlling metal. And he's able to control the metal and stop the eagle's nest from crashing into the police station.
Oh, what? The white guy on the left is the Magneto guy?
Yeah. But White Magneto, who's now saving the city, and also he's not really good because he's also,
he can do this.
Yeah. He's doing this. I am doing this. And
no training or anything. He just had this.
Yeah, but he died.
Oh, wow.
He's dead. And this is where we get the second line of Braxwell. So he dies. They go down the slide like, wee, emergency slide. We need to clear the site and an ambulance for Sandy. Seriously, I'm okay, guys. Is that a cop?
Oh, wait, he said something.
Ricky Bet your ass. I think this was a mistake. I don't think Ricky Ritardo was supposed to be here. Because just to like bet your ass. Thank you, Ricky Ritardo. You have said so much. And bet your ass. You've added so much, so many other times because you can speak. We now know you have the ability to speak. Earlier, you made a sound. So we're like, maybe he still can't actually speak, right? But now we know you can speak. So you've just been an asshole this whole time, this entire time when people have been speaking to you, asking you questions, trying to tell you if you understand the situation, what's going on, what we need from you, right? Trying to coordinate between you and the police on the ground. And you've said nothing. Nothing.
In fairness, he probably couldn't hear them because he was listening to his music.
No, he was just listening to his music for the Purple Man.
Was he eating a taco?
No, the Purple Man was the reason he had the music on in that scene. Only that scene. Only that scene. Okay. We would have seen music coming out.
Rap music saves lives. That's the point.
Ricky! Yeah, so Ricky Ritardo can speak. It's verified. He just doesn't because he's an asshole.
Bet your ass he can speak.
Iron Man restarted the prop on the hover carrier. Yeah.
56K, everybody dies like action figures. They have ragdoll physics in video games.
Yeah. So they're all like, Wilkins! I think he might be the reason we didn't strike the barn. He was. And Ingrid outs him. Ingrid outs him as he's dead. He's fucking dead, right? He was hiding the fact that he was an except, this guy, right? And Ingrid's just like, yeah, he was an except. By the way, he's dead now. He can't say nothing, but he was an except. Which is kind of weird. It's kind of an asshole move, right? Could you imagine you were dead and someone's like, oh, by the way, he was gay? He didn't tell anybody, but he's dead now, so he can't complain that I'm outing him.
If they had the electric guy, he could have brought him back to life.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, in a world that has established that people are kind of scared and weirded out by these people, right? I would think his family would be like, to learn upon his death, like, oh, by the way, your son was an except, or your brother, or your sister.
He was in the closet.
Whatever it is. Yeah, he was a closet.
Yeah, literally.
It was like, what? Wait a minute, what? What could he do? So it's just weird. I would think that she would not have said nothing, or at least maybe waited until they were back at the station. It was just the three of them or something, right? Like,
yeah,
and there's a funeral. Him. Yeah, she outed him, and then there's a funeral scene. And I don't care because you didn't spend enough time with this character, right? You literally went. He drops off some paperwork, drives Ingrid around, has a brief discussion where she yells at him that she's not a superhero name, right? She doesn't got a superhero name. And then you find out that he is an except and he can unlock things because he can move metal. And then he helps Ingrid fight the electricity man. and then he saves the city by stopping it, and then he's dead. And there's no like emotional impact because I don't care about I have not been invested in this character long enough.
For Ingrid
I
Valdez,
just
there is.
walked up from nowhere.
But for Ingrid, there really isn't either because she just barely knows him. It wasn't like they shared a moment.
No,
Just
but
like,
she was the
oh.
one who told him he could do that.
No, she said if you
Or-
train, you could be better. But
Yeah.
still, it would. Could you imagine if you're like you've seen some kid, he's playing basketball, and you're like, hey kid, if you practice, you can be better. And then he died, and you'd be like, that sucks, but I didn't really know him like that. Like I just gave him some advice to practice, right? Unless he got shot because he was practicing because you had told him, then you're like, oh shit, maybe I should have told him to practice basketball because he got shot.
But he
Practice
did
basketball.
something nice for her in giving her that ride, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. That's what happens because she's Latina and she wanted a green card and he's a white guy. She's like, fuck, that was my green card. Now I gotta go back with Brian. God damn. He didn't think he was up to our level. Turns out he was the best of us because he had cool power that we didn't know about and probably would have helped a lot. So they're pissed now. Lillian and Michael are pissed because they hate losing. They lost. And they're like, well, we're going to go to Cabo. We're going to Cabo. And that's when fucking Alphacore shows up. And they're like, hey, you're connected to all those things that happened. They're like, yeah, so what? They're like, but, you're connected to that shit. And they're like, yeah, you can't arrest us. We didn't commit a crime. You can't prove we committed any crimes. You have nothing, right? And they're like, well, screw you. And then they just like destroy their airplane.
Hey guys, I'm gonna head out.
This is
Right,
really
look.
dumb.
Yeah. They destroy their airplane. And then Brian's
All right,
like,
take care, Jessica.
All right,
Yeah,
see y'all
take it easy.
later.
Wait, are you serious or were you commenting on how dumb that was? You really mean you're heading out?
Yeah. I got some stuff to do in the morning.
he got pimping to do in the morning.
Yeah, all right, yeah. Tony already knows. All right, yeah.
Well, I hope
Little
your life
Birdie
is
says, I
better
don't know him
than-
like you're starting to sound like Eric Talon. Yeah. Where the hell's Red at? If Vito really won, Red needs to be here with my money. Have my money.
Have a good night, Jessica.
All right, peace out, guys.
Later.
All right, take it easy. All right, so we're coming at the home stretch, right? So they just Ingrid uses her whip. There's like it cuts parts of the plane off, and they're like, "Oh man, you destroyed our plane, asshole!" And she's like, "Looks like your vacay has been delayed. Engine trouble." And Brian, because he's a fucking retard, right? At least Braxwell, Ricky Ritardo knows to keep his mouth shut, but Ingrid or Brian, he doesn't. He doesn't know when to keep his mouth shut. He's like, you're gonna have to explain this to Chief Holcomb, and those two will just whistle up another plane within the hour. I'll finesse something. Don't spoil the moment, Brian. And that's it. Fucking freeze frame, done. End of the comic. And then we
Hold
get the
up.
love letter from Chick.
No, there's no apocalypse.
No.
It's not even in the fuck. Oh wow!
Is this even?
Like I said,
You
it just
remember
ends-
Apocalypse, right? That big poster with the big
Yeah.
ass Thanos looking. Yeah.
Yeah, he's not in there at all. I
Oh,
told you.
wonderful.
Didn't I say I called it? I go, he's not going to be in the comic at all.
I mean, well,
that
this time it's
poster's gonna
literally
be
he's
big.
not there.
So it ends, right? And they're walking away from this burning wreckage of a plane.
So what is she going to finesse in order to keep them?
She's
Is she
gonna
go get a
finesse, like,
warrant?
no, when he's like, hey, the police department now has to pay for this plane. She's like, yeah, but don't worry about it. Okay. I'm the hot, sexy Latina lady. I can do what I want.
Yeah, exactly, boss lady.
Wait, hold on. They didn't stop the villains though. They
can just
delayed
walk up
them
to
a
another
little
plane.
bit.
No. They didn't even know they were villains. They literally were like, you're connected to these crimes, right? And the
Yeah,
villains
let's smash
outed
your plane,
themselves.
then.
They could be like, because here's the dialogue, right? They go, you're they go, Michael Copper, Lillian Renashi, board members of Bravo United, a subsidiary of Mornock Limited, a wholly owned division of Delstar Estates, which in turn is owned by Keystone Holdings, which belongs to Ron Kopp Incorporated, of which you two are major stockholders. That's literally the dialogue. I've made none of that up. It is literally
losing my mind at how stupid this is and inadequate this is.
This is what Ingrid says. So she's like, we've connected you through all these like fake shell companies, right? And the dude's like, and his eyes are glowing. So now he's outed himself, right? He's just like, and then Brian and them bust in, and Brian's like, and your company keeps coming up in relation to a series of felonies from arson to grand theft to murder to terrorism. We haven't connected all the dots yet, but I wanted to see for myself what kind of criminals we're dealing with. Those are some pretty wild allegations you're throwing around. I believe our lawyers will call this harassment. And unless you have specific charges to bring, I suggest you contact them. At this point, they're also roughing up their bodyguards for no reason. They're just beating the shit out. They're beating a black guy up just sort of on the side of the panel just for no reason.
Civilian bodyguards, probably, like non-extra.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Yeah. As for us, Renashi and I have vacation plans. Really? And then that's when she whips the plane. So literally, these two people could have just been like, I have no idea what's going on. There's other board members, right? Remember, there's other board members, presumably, right? If there's a board, there has to be more than two board members, right? Presumably.
Yeah.
So they're gonna be like, hey, I think it's Bill. Go talk to Bill or Frank or Joe or one of the other board members. Like, why are you here bothering us? Right? They he made his eyes glow, and they don't say anything like, oh, you are Exceps? You're an Excep? I can see your glowy eyes and your purple power hands. No, they don't mention any of that. And they literally didn't have to show that off because they don't get into a fight. So they've outed themselves now as Exceps to the superhero Excep police, right? When they could have pretended to not be Exceps, and in the event that they got arrested, would have been put in a regular prison, and then, surprise, we're Except and escape, right?
Yeah, and then the next panel, Valdez uses her whip, and it looks like, so it has fire powers now?
No, I think it's a laser because it looks like it sheared everything.
Yeah. Was it
Which
doing
is
that
weird because
earlier?
she's holding it. No, earlier it was kind of like electrocuting the guy, but he's an electric guy. I don't know.
But then she
Lizard
was
brought
also-
a good point. Look at
then
this.
she was also
Another bit
holding-
stolen from the DCAU. At the end of the
The end of the
Superman
Superman pilot is with
Yeah.
the Superman confronting Lex in a similar way, but can't connect it to him. Yeah, that's right.
Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Let's not leave this whip. She also holds things with the whip.
Well, she's an
can't
Except.
do all these things.
She's an Except. The whips are her power. If you look here, I'll show a panel. Okay. And again, you put me in these positions to defend this shit, and I don't want to be in this
I want you
position,
to
right?
try. I want you to try.
But okay, so you see this? It's in her wrist, right? So I'm presuming that the energy is flowing from her through the whips.
So she's like Omega Red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
literally
that's
Omega
why
Red.
she
It's
can
like
hold.
coming out of
That's
her
why
wrist.
she can.
Yeah.
She can hold the because it's her energy, and she's just using the whips to channel it, right?
No, I'm saying she's used those whips to hold onto other things.
Yes, because
Like
she can use it.
It didn't sever the
Right.
things that she was holding.
Right, because she can control how much energy goes through it. So if she puts more energy, it makes it hotter, and then it can cut things. She puts less energy, it makes it just like a regular whip. Do you understand? It's like she has it within her body. She has a switch that can go like to 11 or down to 1. She puts it at 11. She
Oh
can cut a
yeah,
plane
hold on. Wizard again. Magma guy in Batman Beyond. Electric guy, Livewire that went through the same thing.
Jeez.
Holy shit. And like it's bad
So
enough
Bennett
the
draws the
trailer.
manly women.
It's bad enough the trailer looks like a DCAU. Like they've been ripping off a bunch of things from the
Yeah,
DCAU.
and then we got, like I said, we had the love letter from Chuck Dixon saying how much he loves Eric's money. And then we get a little preview of Yaira, because this winner by the highly anticipated Yaira #1, written by the Saska sisters. And then we get the pencils for the pencil sketch for Joe Bennett's cover, the one we just looked at, and yeah, it's just as shitty as the cover is. So it wasn't necessarily the inker or the colorist who fucked it up. It just fucked up from jump. Also, there's a visit Rippaverse.com for official merch page where you can get a Braxwell shirt or a Rippaverse shirt or a Yaira poster or a ISOM poster or a Rippaverse short box.
Or you can go over to GeorgePeterGatzis.com and get Joe King, which is the official sequel to the Rippaverse.
Yeah. Also,
stories.
There's a little page with Alphacore looking completely different but sort of similar with a little Alphacore will return. And so.
Yeah, Alphacore is the prequel to the Joe King job ads book.
There you go.
I still don't understand how a man
to work with Eric July.
Ooh, Alphacore.
Eric who?
After this, Eric will never get another dollar from me. Where's Rippaverse Goalpost? He don't like us no more because we were mean to him.
I think after his bit about the lore channels, it's like he.
Oh, by the way, Control Alt Delete says hello.
Awesome.
Where is he? That's a better question.
Yeah, where's
the little birdie tells me he's around.
Yeah.
So it's crazy. It's crazy. The book, like I said, six. It has a coherent plot, right? And I can follow it. And the dialogue wasn't terrible, and the characters felt like unique individuals. It just wasn't captivating. It wasn't unique, original. And it ends in a unsatisfactory manner, right?
Very
Again,
abrupt. Yeah.
For Chuck Dixon saying he was writing a graphic novel for Eric, right? For the Alphacore. That's what this is. A graphic novel, not a number one issue, right? Even though it's labeled number one, he goes, I'm writing a graphic novel. And so I would figure it would be a coherent story with a definitive ending, right? Plot threads for a possible sequel, but like this thing should have been finished. Like them being in jail and then plotting how to get out or plotting their revenge for a future encounter would have made more sense to me, right? Or like they arrest them and then you find out in the next book, like Superman, like actually you arrested them, but they got out on a technicality and blah blah blah. You know, but give it a satisfying like ending to this book, right?
One more thing. So the funeral took place before these guys decided to leave. Why didn't they leave immediately?
I don't know. I don't know how fast the funeral would have been arranged either. Like that's got to take a couple days, right?
Yeah,
at least.
All right. Does this Alphacore story take place in Los Angeles?
No. I heard, George, you took him under your wing. Is that true?
No. I don't have any wings. Only. Oh, sorry. Cape. Yes. No wings.
Yeah, just a cape and blue fur.
That's right.
So, weirdest thing, right? What the hell's Grok? I just went to Twitter and I see something called Grok. The fuck is that? Anybody know?
Yeah. Okay. It sounds like this entire Alphacore story
I think that's
takes
a football
place
player.
in California.
No.
Am I wrong?
Did you say Grok or Gronk?
Grok.
Oh,
Grok.
Never mind.
It says Grok something. Premium Plus subscribers can now use our most advanced AI, Grok, on Twitter. I guess it's some AI thing.
Sounds like a Grok of shit. So Ingrid Valdez is, because you're telling me her whips can do basically anything. Is she the most powerful member? Because she doesn't even have a car.
I don't know.
She might be the most
What am I
powerful.
doing?
She might literally be the girl boss.
Well,